Welcome to this second and final World Cup round in Ski-O 2024. We have now traveled all the way from Austria to Estonia and this small village of Hanja. So this village is actually quite small. It's 200, less than 200 residents living in Hanja, but still they are hosting both ski orienteering competitions and biathlon competitions regularly. Actually, we had the World University Ski Orienteering of 2018 here in Hanja. So perhaps some of the athletes they have been here and competing earlier, but as we saw yesterday in the sprint, there were quite differing. They have been doing the tracks in different styles, so not so. I would say they are not gaining so much seconds on being here. And actually, today it's the Independence Day of Estonia. I think this was this day in 1918 that they declared statehood. They also had some war against the Soviet Western Front. So it's a big day in Estonia, and of course a big day should be with the ski orienteering. My name is Linus Rapp, and I'm gonna guide you through these competitions. Today, as I said, there will be pursuit based on yesterday's sprint results. So the first athletes yesterday will start first today, and then the other athletes will start as many seconds as they were behind. And the terrain is a lot of medium-sized hills in Spruce Forest with, I would say, really steep hills. So going on the narrow tracks up on those steep hills can take a bit longer than we're probably used to when we get to see the GPS trackings. And there are also some relatively flat meadows. They were out a lot on those yesterday, so it will not be as much today. And between those hills in the forest, there are marshes, and I think that will be covered with quite dense, narrow track system, so it will be tricky for the athletes. The man is gonna start first. We have, as you see on the picture, it's not the nicest weather. There are some degrees plus, and they have had some difficulties with the water. Yeah, as you can see, as I said, the weather is warm. There has been uh, quite rainy, and this pursuit men will take place in the start in just a few minutes. Yesterday there were partly there has been a really good winter, I would say, in Estonia, in this southeast part of Estonia that we are at the moment. So you see there is quite a lot of snow on the side of the tracks, but these last 2-3 days they have been warm and raining. And yesterday there were actually like a hard snow crust on those meadows, and there were more, of course, in the women's race. They started ahead of the men. More shortcuts done there, and I think that today there will be probably a bit less shortcuts since there has been warm another day, and I think these guys they will go through. But of course, if there is a possibility where you can make a shortcut and don't need to go as far around, there will be made. And the organizers have worked really hard, where they have shoveled up trenches on this snow on the ski arena just to get rid of some of the water. Here we see some of the guys. We have to the right in the blue-white Finnish dress, Niklas Ekström, yesterday's winner. He was at the World Championship. He was third at the sprint and third at the pursuit, and now he starts as number one. Highly interesting. Stanimir Belemachev on the left, the Bulgarian green dress. He was second. He took the silver medal at the World Championship, but then lost some positions in the pursuit. It will be interesting to see today. And behind Stanimir, we have in the red and blue Norwegian Jürgen Backlid, the king of Austria, who starts as number 4 today. So we will see. Here we have the course, and it's quite a big difference in the forking here. So they have 3 loops to do today, and you see, I think it's quite tricky route choices. Then we have the TV as the common control, number 4, I think it was. And then you see there are quite big differences again. So I would say the athletes should keep control on which forking they have and go to the right control. And then we come to the second TV control quite soon. And they have this longer leg. Yeah, you see there, TV2. They have a longer leg, and you see this medium-sized hills. They are not really big, but if you can get rid of some elevation by going around, you can gain a lot of seconds. We saw it yesterday on the sprint distance, that on some of the longer legs, they were actually could go around quite a lot and still gain time on those who went up, especially, as I said, on these narrow tracks when it's really steep. It's hard to double pull, and it's quite soft, mushy in the snow on these narrow tracks, which makes it even harder for the athletes. And I would say this is it's a lot of tricky route choices on this course. And there we have number 2. Now we have had them away. And the 4 top guys, with Apo Vipola and Jürgen Backlid coming here as number 3 and 4, they are in 25 seconds behind Niklas Ekström, who just has got his map into his map holder. And then it's a jump on 30 seconds down to Nicola Müller, who we know was doing great on the pursuit. He likes the pursuit. He did catch 4 places on the World Championship, and he was second in the end. So I think he will be a bit disappointed with yesterday's sprint distance. He took 1 route choice and lost quite a many seconds. So, and then you see here, it's really tight. You see there will be 8, 9, 10 guys in around 20 seconds. So this group will probably get together, and just like when we see biathlon on the TV, these guys will probably go quite hard in the beginning to get a better back and chase some seconds. So there we have that big group away, and then we have some seconds down to Ole Ilmar Jama, the youngster who won the Junior World Championship and actually ended with the gold in the relay for Estonia. So he's the future guy for Estonia, and he was fourth at the U23 World Championship yesterday. So yesterday there were U23 World Championship. Not today, since it's a pursuit and you can use other people's backs more. And they will also see Isak Lundholm and Pyri Risanen, also really good young athletes. Some of the Czech here, Marek Sterba, Peter Horvat. And now we're getting up to about 2 minutes behind. And since we have, I would say, the top 5 guys are the top 5 best in the world. They were the top 5 guys that had the best results in Ramsau in Austria. It will be tough for these guys to catch time. And we will have a drone following in the forest, and we will also have some GPS. And then you saw we have TV controls on 2 positions out in the forest. And you see, they are already splitting up. Some had the really short control to the right on that wide track, and some are having a bit longer route choice away from the start. There we have Kasparas Sulcis, Lithuania, who actually got a win yesterday, but that was in the women's class, and we will have the women start around 11:45. So we will have these guys first, and the plan is that they will have around 60 minutes, but it's quite tough out there. They had longer times yesterday than estimated. I would say probably a lot because of this floor ban, and the weather conditions makes it really tough out there. So I think they will probably have some minutes more than 60 minutes, but we will see. We will follow the competition and see. And I have the GPS to follow, and I see that the top guys have had quite well. Of course, they have different forkings, but in the end, they will have had skied the same course. And also on the last part of the course, there's also always straight, so that you cannot gain or lose positions by forking. So that's a part that we know if someone is together in the end, they will have the same course left, and see if they can make it up. We see some of the Japanese athletes on the right here. Japan, who will actually hold the World Championship in 2 years. So some of the athletes I've already seen started to train for that. You see here Apo Vippala coming down to the south in the picture. And we see he still has around 30 seconds down to Nicola Müller, Jonathan Ståhl. I saw Tobias Habenicht, Henrik Fredriksson Aas. Right up on the top, we have Niklas Ekström, and I think he's doing a good route choice there. It's quite easy to see that he's going around a bit more, but he's actually getting a longer downhill slope and gaining some seconds than if he would have gone left and then down on the bigger wide track. It looks like it's hard to say. It's a lot of skiers. Jürgen Backlid, the Stanimir Belomachev, and it looks like Jürgen has had a good start. He started 15 seconds behind Stanimir and has already catched up on him and passed him. So I think Stanimir has had some small mistake here in the beginning, and then there's a lot of racers, and it looks like Evert Toivonen and Misa Tuomala is doing a mistake right up in the north, or maybe they're doing the route choice. Probably Evert's GPS has stopped. They did a route choice going out there to the wide track. And here we have Apo Vippala coming first in this Sprouse forest on the marshes, turning around, taking the control, in the lead now at the moment. And he has had a good start. So we will see, taking some time. We know that Nicola Müller started around, we will say, 40 seconds behind him, 38 seconds behind. So we will see. Yeah, it looks like they have already lost some seconds there. And we will see if they come into the picture. I think the time is a bit before, since they have to come to this control. They will see Niklas Ekström, the first starter, down at second position, but we know he have had a longer forking, and I haven't seen any mistakes from him at the moment. Now it looks like they are going out to the right route choice, or the right control. I'm not really certain, but they are going in the right direction, in the same direction. There we saw Jürgen Backlid, Nicola Müller. We have Jonathan Ståhl making a good start. Tobias Habenicht coming up. He started as number 13, but he's a really strong athlete. He has been doing the World Cup in cross-country skiing. So here we see it. It looks like, I would say that the A option that Niklas had in the beginning, and Evert Toivonen and Misa Tuomala, the Finnish guys, the Finnish armada, they have lost some times on that, so that's the longer forking. Now they have the same Apo and Niklas, but It looks like Jürgen Backlid, Jonathan Stoll, and Henrik Frixenos has the D option, and Nicola Müller has the E option. So we will see if Jonathan, by example, he has been skiing with Nicola for some minutes now, and if he understands that they have not the same control when they're coming out on this meadow and up to the E option. And it looks like all of the runners are going not straight to this D option that Jürgen Backlid has. They are interesting to see. I would say it's definitely a possibility to go out on the lake, but you see when they're coming almost to the end of the lake, there's a bit of a hill, and I think they are afraid to do those shortcuts. Actually, you see Jürgen Backlid continuing following Niklas Ekström into the control, and he lost clearly seconds there, because you saw Jonathan Stoll, he was around 10 seconds behind Jürgen, and now he's clearly ahead of him. So Jonathan Stoll with a good start, Jürgen Backlid, some mistakes there, and we will see if he gets stress. We know his capacity, and now it's important to read out on this when it's quite a big wide track crossing. It's easy to take the wrong, so it's you have to have control on your compass. But it really looks like Apo Vippola, he has had the start that he wants, and he has around 30 seconds down to the chasers with Jonathan Stoll and Niklas Ekström. Then we have Norwegians, Jürgen Backlid, Henrik Fredriksson Aas, and Nicola Müller. Actually losing time, Nicola. I'm not certain why, because he was with Jürgen at the E control. So it looks, I'm not certain why. You see Apo is going back there, and I think that Jonathan will probably go in on the narrow track there and out to the meadows. And we will see how Niklas Ekström, yeah, you see they split up there. So they are both doing their own race, taking their own controls. Actually, Rasmus Wikbom has had a really good start. He started down as 15th position, 124 behind, and I would say he's clearly closer to the top. Probably have had a good start, a shorter forking, but it's also nice to have those start. But he continues on the wide track now, compared to the other athletes having the D option. They want to go in on the narrow track, but Rasmus is using his legs a bit more. Here we see Stanimir Belomashev, his small mistake there. We will see, he missed that one, and coming out there. I think that's also some seconds going in on that narrow track, and not going straight to the control. So Stanimir has had some problems in the beginning, and we will can compare now Rasmus Wikbom, Belomashev coming into where Henrik Fredriksson Aas is at the moment. It looks like Rasmus clearly lost on going on that wide track. I'm not certain he's going uphill when you can go on the narrow track quite flat, so that's a mistake from him. And Corsin Boos down to the right, he has done the other route choice, and he doesn't want to go up on the hill, so he goes in there, but I lost quite a lot of seconds. Apo Vippola has taken his control, turning around, and will meet Niklas and Nicola here. Jonathan Stoll is almost catched up by Jürgen Backlid. So they will go out to the meadow, and I think the D option is clearly shorter here. Jonathan Stoll making a mistake, going out on the... No, he's not making a mistake. He's turning around and going out on the black road. And those black roads, they are skiable, but they are, of course, not prepared. So they can be really icy in this terrain and hard to turn around, hard to brake, but quite fast to ski on. We will see Jürgen Backlid continued throughout the control, and we will see how it goes for him, comparing to Jonathan there. So now it looks that Jürgen has come quite far, but he has uphill on the narrow track to take down. So we will see. And I would say clearly Apo Vippola looks like he gained time there compared to Niklas Ekström when he turned around. Niklas and Nikola, they continued throughout the control. So they lost some more seconds. Apo Vippola, he was not pleased with the World Championship at all. He ended at fourth position at the pursuit, and I think he was not happy with that. Tobias Haubenicht having some issue coming out to the black road up in the left and turning around. Hasn't he taken the control? Maybe he saw Jonathan Stoll and took his back and not up to the control. That was a big mistake, and he really lost time there. It looks like quite close between Jürgen and Jonathan, taking the different route choices. So I would say it depends on what skier you are. If you want to go more on narrow tracks and use your arms, or if you prefer to use your legs out on the wide, I would say black icy road, and they are going around to this control. You see it's very fast on the black road. So Jonathan Stoll and Jürgen Backlid has had good starts, and Stanimir Belmashev taking the other route choice into the control, going out on the narrow track, and I think he will lose time there because it looks like it was really fast out. Even though it was a bit further on the black road, it looked really fast. And you see, when you're going in a pursuit like this, you see these skiers ahead of you, and like Evert Toivonen, he sees Stanimir Belmashev. He see that he takes the narrow track. Okay, maybe he has looked at the black road also. I think it looks quite the same. He thinks I take Stanimir's back. So they are. It's often like that you use the skiers that you see around you. Actually, under just behind Barclay, we also have Henrik Fredriksen Aas. That looks like two Norwegian flags there. So it's 3 men in the top group here on the D option. And then we have 3 men, Stanimir, Evert, and Rasmus together. And now we get to see Tobias missed. Yeah, he saw Jonathan going around there, coming out to the black road, understanding this is not where I should be. That's devastating for Tobias, who have had a really good start, catched up on positions, but now losing time. So he goes out to the black road again. And you see he's more than a minute behind. He lost a lot of time there. So you had a good start, but that's also easy. Seeing the other guys, okay, I should go here. Maybe this is and not reading the map correctly, and maybe didn't think that that was a route choice before he go out to the next control, and then he lost. I would say the race. It's hard for Tobias, who is a strong skier, to gain time when he's a bit alone going a bit solo at the moment in the forest. And then we have Mattis Jama, Isak Lundholm, Öyvind Wiggen, Kaspar Sulcius. And it looks like they are taking the same route choice here in the beginning on this long leg. And we see Apo Vippola on the E option coming, and we don't see Niklas Ekström, Nicola Miller at the moment. So I think his start... they are doing totally different route choice, I see at the GPS. They are out on the lake and are probably gonna leave the lake quite soon. But Apo is clearly closer to the control, but it will be interesting to see. It's hard to say at the moment if they are losing time or gaining time on him. So Apo is going here, and you see it's really tricky. The tracks are going like zigzag. It's and you have to go back. It's not... I would say this control is... you don't get to see a route choice that, oh, this looks fun. You just get to see different route choices that, okay, this is long, what should I do? So you see here, yeah, comparing Niklas Ekström, Nicola Miller going together, and are probably gonna go up on the wide track and then in on the narrow track. But Apo is clearly closer to the control and using the wide tracks here at the moment. And I think, as it looks like, Apo will be still clearly ahead of the other guys, and it's the D-forking that has directly to the TV control. So out of these 2 controls that you see, Niklas Ekström and Nicola Miller should have the south for control first, and then the TV control. So we will see. They are going on the wide track and then probably in on the narrow track into the control. And on the other option, the D option, Oh, it looks like I think that they gained some time going there. We should see uh, the chasers taking a slightly different route choice with going a bit down more in the beginning and coming up, and then they get the interesting to see. Henrik Fredriksson Oz chooses the black road and will probably go around like Apo Vippola into the control, while Jonathan Stoll and Jörgen Barklid will use the wide track, and I think that they will also come into the control from the back. Here we get to follow Niklas Ekström. We know he is at the second position at his forking, just a bit ahead of Nicola Müller, but quite clearly behind Apo Vippola. Oh, and it's quite, as you see, hard out there in the forest still, so you hear the sounds from the skis and the poles, but there has been windy and quite dirty on the tracks. Looks like Björn Akval is doing own route choice here, making some shortcut down. It's a big shortcut by Björn Akval, but I think he has to do something. He went out as number 20, so he needs to gain position, and as it looks like, that is a good route choice by Björn Akval. The shortcut goes quite fast. Now he needs to come out at the right position though, so he can come out to Apo's track. And now it looks like he's turned around maybe. We will see. Here we have the TV control, TV2, and it looks like we have, I think we heard the Finnish guy there. And we saw just a part. And that was Niklas Ekström and Nicola Müller. And they are not at the TV yet. They are passing the TV control to their control. So even though their SI card picked up on the control, they have to go down to the control where Apo Vippola is at the moment. You see, they are passing that, but they need to go down to Apo Vippola and then come back up to the TV control again. So Apo Vippola still in the lead. We will see quite soon how much he will be ahead. And you see the chasing group with Evert Toivonen, John Schneider, Rasmus Wickbom, Belomashev. They probably gained some seconds on Henrik Fredriksson Oz, but we will know for certain when they come to the TV control. Here we have Apo Vippola, the leader at the moment, has had a fantastic start. No problems. It looks like he has made the tricky route choices really good. And we are setting a time. We know that he had around 30-40 seconds down to the chasers earlier. And I think that it will be more. You see, Niklas Ekström has, and we saw it also on the TV, that Nicola Müller has lost some seconds on Niklas and chasing hard to get his back. And we are waiting for them to come to the control. And it looks like the D option, they have some a bit left to the control. Here we have Nicola Müller, and they are meeting Misa Tuomala, Miska Tervala. They are going to the same control. And then I would say, you see Apo Vippola 47 seconds, and we saw Nicola Müller there at the same time as Misa Tuomala, so it means it's 50 seconds between them. So I would say quite close route choice on that big, long route. So around 40-50 seconds between the leader Apo Vippola and at the moment second position and third position Niklas Ekström and Nicola Müller. And then we know that Jonathan Stoll and Jörgen Barklid should be in this group on the way to their control. And then I would say in the beginning it looked like the D option was quite clearly faster, but now I think it was a bit slower. So it depends, of course, if you have made the right route choice in this tricky part of the course. But I'm not really certain. We get to follow here Simon Eriksson doing a good start. I think he has catched up on Tuomas Uutinen, who started, I would say, as number 12, and Simon on 31. But as I said, it's hard to say because we don't know if they have had the same forkings. It looks like we had the green. Here we get to follow them. You see Jörgen Barklid and Jonathan Stoll coming into the control, and I don't see Henrik Fredriksson Oss that they were together with earlier. So it means that they must have gained time on the route choice. And we also see that Rasmus Wickbom, Evert Toivonen, and Sean Schneider, they took the wide track a bit further and then coming from the back into the control. So I think they gained some seconds there on Jonathan and Jörgen, and still looks like Jonathan is ahead of Jörgen and keeping the pace there. To the F option here, we see that they still have the same Apo, Niklas, and Nikola, and they are doing, I would say, clearly the best route choice. But Jörgen and Jonathan, they have another interesting leg. They can go out to the left now and use the wide tracks almost all the way out to the meadow up to the G control, or they can use the more straight narrow tracks. I think looks like they are going out to the left and using the wide tracks, and it's a lot of skiers there, but we are still waiting for, I think Henrik Fredriksson also has not been at the TV control. Maybe he's in the group with the Finn and the Sean Schneider. So they take the left route choice there, and they split up again. Evert Toivonen leading Sean Schneider, Misa Tomala, Miska Tervala on the more straight route choice with the narrow tracks. So it will be interesting to see. As I said, it's tricky to see which of these route choices are the best. But I still think it's quite interesting that Jonathan Ståhl, the Swede, he has catched up on Jörgen Backlid, and it looks like he's leading their group. I would say in Ramsau, when Jörgen took all the 4 gold medals, he would not have let anyone be ahead of him. He wanted to stay in control and lead his group and doing his ski orienteering. But at the moment, it looks like Jonathan is keeping the lead, and it goes really fast now when they come out to the wide track. You see Jonathan got a bit stopped with the GPS, but Jörgen going really fast out there. And we will see now how the Finns go into the control. Apo Vipola has taken the F option without any problems and going, we'll see. He looks like he's going straight out to his next control. You can also do a bit around on the right, but then you have to start with a really climb steep climbing. And where Apo goes more straight, it's quite flat out on the marshes, and I think he wants to use that. And actually, it looks like Miska Tervala and Evert, they are doing the changing, so they are now going on the wide track, and they look like they are quite close to Jonathan and Jörgen. I think that the Swede and Norwegian hasn't made the best route choices, as it looks like they are less than 30 seconds behind them, clearly less than, looks like 15 seconds at the moment, and then they have catched a lot of time. And we see a Styrk Kamsvåg and Vegard Guldbrandsen going out on the lake, not going around to the F option. They are going a bit more straight to the control, probably coming in from the left, from the back to the control, trying to get as little elevation as possible. And now they get to see each other. Now we see Kevin Hallop having some difficulties. I think he turned around. We will see what happened with him. I think he was he went back to the TV control. Maybe he hasn't taken the stealth of those controls yet. That's a big mistake from Kevin Hallop, the home soil skier, the Estonian. That was not fun for him, having to meet a lot of other athletes when he was already almost out on the wide track, probably seeing that he has not taken the south of these 2 controls, just turning around, losing a lot of times, but still getting the right controls. So that's the most important. But his day is over. And you see Henrik Fredriksson also lost like a minute, more than a minute, to Jonathan Ståhl and Jörgen Backlid doing the other route choice on the long leg. And now it's really tricky to see. It looks like clearly Apo Vipola lost some seconds to Niklas Ekström and Nikola Müller, going a bit more left. I think he lost his positions there and went to the left a bit more into the control. and not the straight narrow track. This is a really, as I said before, I think it would be dense narrow tracks on these marshes, and that is really tight. Here we get to see the number 19, Mattis Jama. He is probably behind his brother Apo Vipola. He has made his first of 3 loop, and he is in the lead. So we will see how he is compared to the other guys. It says that we are probably waiting for Niklas Ekström. Nikola Müller there and Niklas Ekström just 14 and 15 seconds behind. So we know Apo has lost some seconds, but still from the start he has gone really well and picked up from his starting 3rd position to the leading position at the moment. Hard to say. We know Niklas Ekström had a bit longer forking in the beginning of the course. Not certain on how much seconds he lost there, but I think Niklas Ekström has a shorter option left. And Nikola Müller has actually had exactly the same as Apo Vipola. And in the total, he has gained around 25 seconds on Apo. And I think it was just in the end here on the marshes where we saw that Apo lost his composure a bit. But not a big mistake, doing 20 seconds, taking left instead of right, and then realizing, okay, I have to go. And then we see, it looks like Niklas Ekström, Nikola Müller going out on the same forking, probably the B forking. And Apo Vipola continuing on the wide track. We'll see if he goes up to the C control or if he goes to the A control. And it looks like he goes to the A control. Then we know we have to keep this in mind that Apo, he will have the longest forking in the beginning of the last loop. We have also had Jonathan Ståhl, Jörgen Backlid here at map changeover 4th and 5th, 52, 56 seconds behind. And it looks like Jonathan has the same as Nicola and Niklas here in the beginning. And as I said, not certain Jörgen Backlid, he has been on vacation after Ramsau. So he has been doing some downhill skiing. I saw he was doing some backflips. Maybe not the best way to prepare for a World Cup ski orienteer. So we will see. And here we have number 6 and 7. The Finns have started really great with 5 guys in top 8. Evert Toivonen, Miska Tervala, Misa Tuomala. They are around 1.5 to 2 minutes. Gustav Nordström making a good first loop, but as I said before, Stanimir Bremeshev, he lost some seconds on the World Championship pursuit, and that was not his thing, and he has lost quite a lot of time, and that's not purely forking. It looked like the Finns, Evert and Misa, had the C option out there in the beginning, so we know they will probably lose some time. And we will see how he gets there. So here we also have Tuomas Uutinen, Olle Ilmar Jama, the first Estonian, and Henrik Fredriksson Aas and Rasmus Wickbom. They have lost some seconds. They were higher up earlier, but has lost some seconds into this map changeover. As I said, the Finns have started really great, and also the Norwegian have 3 Norwegians top 10. So we are awaiting. Actually, Styrk Kamsog has lost a lot of time also. We saw he did another route choice going on the lake, trying to lose some elevation. Probably lost some time. Styrk actually, he said to me he has been sick, but he won the Norwegian champs last week. He was in the lead for a long time yesterday. So I think he is in a better shape than he wants to say. But the orienteering is not at point at the moment.
3 minutes and 12 seconds behind the leaders.
Here we have Marek Sterba, also a young Czech athlete who was really good in the Junior World Championship in Ramsau. But I think that a bit suited him a bit more than this when it's more dense track system. Vegard Gulbrandsen, he was 7th in the beginning, but he has lost a lot of positions. And actually, I was looking at it, and I said Stanimir, he lost positions. Vegard lost a lot of positions on the pursuit on the World Championship. Henrik Fredriksson Aas lost a lot of positions. So they are they like this pursuit distance quite a bit different, I would say. So it's like some some suit it more when they got to see other people's back. I know that when I was doing ski orienteering, I was thinking I don't want to do pursuit because I wanted to be alone in the forest. Because, and this might sound a bit cocky, but I was better at orienteering for myself than orienteering with other people, because they were often stronger than me out on the wide tracks, and I had to fight really hard to just keep their backs then, and then they could use me a bit more, I would say, on the wide tracks. And actually, we see Apo Vippola doing not the same as Niklas Ekström. He has not done his preparations perfect for this week, because this was a part where we saw the athletes at the World University Ski Orienteering Championship, and he will lose around 10 seconds when he went out to the shorter wide track as it looks, but he has to go up and down instead of just not as steep downhill, where gaining his speed all the time. So we are waiting for Nicola Miller, as it says, because we know that the TV is a bit behind. We have the white and red Swiss athlete who has had a good start out on this second loop. He was just 15 seconds behind Apo, and Apo, it looks like the forking that Nicola, probably also Niklas, has had is a bit shorter. So we are waiting for the athletes here. And you see Nicola and also Niklas Ekström together still. They had the B option, and Apo Vippola have the A option. It's the same as Jonathan Ståhl and Jürgen Buckley, and they were almost a minute behind, and it definitely not looks like they are a minute behind Apo. Apo has had some difficulties either with the route choice or with the technical parts on this start of the second loop, second out of 3 loops, and they had around, as I said before, they had around 26 minutes on the first loop. I think they will not be able to make it down to 60 minutes in the end of this race. So they will probably have prepared for a bit longer and have those gels and drinking a lot when they are possible. Here we have Apo Vippola going on the wide track. We get to follow him with the skiing cameraman. And he's going hard on this wide track, going out to the right. And we see he's not able to see Niklas Ekström and Nicola Miller. That's because they are clearly ahead of him around 40 seconds. And now we have had Jonathan Ståhl, Jürgen Buckley at the TV control, and they are just 20 seconds behind Apo Vippola. So they have catched more than 30 seconds on him out on this second loop. And then we also have had Miska Tervala, and I think we saw Evert Toivonen with him. Yes, so they have been there at position 6 and 7. Miska Tervala doing probably his best start ever, I would say, out on the World Cup here. He started as number 16, but looking for top 10, top 6 positions. He wants the flowers. So they are chasing Jonathan Ståhl, Jürgen Buckley there. And then we know that Jonathan and Jürgen, they have the E option here, and Nicola, Niklas, and Apo have the D option. So they are doing correctly. Both of them are doing. And look like Miska Tervala going really hard out on the wide track and gaining some seconds towards Evert Toivonen. Evert does a small micro route choice different than Jonathan and Jürgen into the E option. Now they are in the uphill. So they are coming there. Then we have Misa Tuomala and Stanimir Belomashev at the 8th and 9th positions. And then Gustav Nordström coming top 10 there. Sean Schneider is there. It looks like Ole Ilmar Jama is there. But we see totally different route choice from Jonathan Ståhl, Jürgen Buckley going out on the lake compared to how they did on the other loop, on the last loop when Nicola, Niklas, and Apo had this forking. So they are going a bit more straight through choice out on the narrow track, and I think it looks quite good actually, but we will see. Jonathan Ståhl looking like he has really good power in his body. Jürgen Bucklid is fighting, as it looks, to just keep his back. And as I said, that was not probably that can be a bit stressful for Jürgen, because of course he feels that I am the fastest, I am the best, I won 4 gold medals, and then out in the forest feeling that, oh, this guy is faster than me. How is this possible? Because as I said on the World Championships, and you don't win 4 gold medals if you're not, I would say, the best in every discipline of this art that we call the sport ski orienteering, because Jürgen is a great cross-country skier, and I would say he's the best cross-country skier, but he's also a really good skiotechnician. He has improved that year by year by year, so probably not the really best, but still top 5 in the world going that. So he's best in every part. And then if he feels like Jonathan Ståhl is really strong today, that can be a bit stressful. I know when Tove did ski orienteering, I was always thinking, Tove, as long as you are together with everyone else, you're stronger than them, so you don't have to be worried. But that was one of her Achilles heels. That if the ladies were close to her, she got a bit stressed. So actually, I said to my girlfriend Hanna that take the start and try to push her, because then there can be some mistakes. Nicola Müller and Niklas Ekström going still together. It looks like Nicola Müller is in the lead, and they are continuing through the D option, just like Jürgen Bucklid did last loop. And I think Evert Toivonen working really hard to catch up on Jonathan and Jürgen on the other option. We know that we have had they are doing another route choice, as I said. Stanimir Belamashev taking the back of the group, probably seeing them go out on the lake, because you see a lot. Here we see that Apo Vipola is still some seconds behind, but I think he has gained some seconds. He was 40 seconds behind, and it looks like he is a bit closer. Apo also feeling like he's really strong today and going hard out in the terrain. But you have to do everything correct. And then we know that probably turning with at the E control that Jürgen, Jonathan and Evert is coming up to at the moment is the fastest, because it looked like Apo gained some seconds towards. Then you have to go. Then you're going downhill all the way to the narrow track where they go in. But if you continue, you go down, and it looks like, oh, it's down all the way. But it's actually you go down and then you go uphill, and they are not turning around, so they are losing some seconds. And we'll see if Evert Toivonen can read the map. Of course, he is so close now. He just wants to gain their back, so he's doing the same. He doesn't want to give them anything for free. And I was speaking earlier, Jonathan Ståhl looking strong, but now Jürgen Bucklid has worked really hard on that wide track, probably grilled Jonathan a bit. But still, I think Jonathan looked really strong in the narrow tracks, so I don't think that this is over. Niklas Ekström and Nicola Müller is doing the same route choice as Jürgen Bucklid did on the last loop. They are going the black road here, and we know that's faster to the control. So, but it's clearly less than 40 seconds down to Apo Vipola. It looks like he's eating second by second on Niklas and Nicola there. So Apo Vipola is, I think, I would say he is the favorite at the moment as I see him. But on this forking system, it looks like he's faster than Niklas and Nicola. Jonathan Ståhl, Jürgen Bucklid takes a bit different route choices actually into the control. They did exactly the same, and they are going down to this control, and then they have this long leg where we know that it was quite close between going the left and the right route choices. So we will see which they choose. And we saw also Björnar Kvåle taking a big shortcut in the middle there, and it looked like it was quite fast, but he has actually gained some positions. He's 14th now, started as 20, but I was not certain where he was in the position at the race when he went out there, so I'm not certain to say which was the best there. It looks like Jonathan is doing something different there than Jörgen. He's probably going out to the lake. Yes, he is going out to the lake, and I think that was a small. If he should do that route choice, he should have gone directly up to the north. He lost some seconds there, but he's still certain he wants to do his race. He thinks this is the best route choice, and he's going around there. So we will see Jörgen and Evert climbing a bit more straight to the control here in the beginning. And now they are three in the D group with Nicola Müller, Niklas Ekström, and Apo Vippola. He has eaten them up, and they are going this more to the south. And as it looked like on the first loop, they gained some seconds by going there. So I think they are doing the right route choice. And then Miska Tervala still doing a great race. He's less than 30 seconds, around 30 seconds behind Nicola Müller there. So I think that he is doing really well. He were around a minute behind at the first TV control, and he's doing his own race. And then we have Gustav Nordström, who was at the 10th position earlier. So we will see. Rasmus Wickbom turning around at the E option, gaining some seconds there, but he has lost Henrik Friksen's ass back. And we see that Jonathan Ståhl has come up and will probably go out to the lake there. And Jörgen Buckley doing the same route choice as Apo Vippola did. So Evert Toivonen having difficulties to keep Jörgen's back and actually goes out to Jonathan's route choice. And then we see, even though Jonathan did a small mistake, small micro route choice mistake out on the first medal there, he gained a lot of seconds towards Evert there. So either Evert got tired or Jonathan's choice were faster. And then Jörgen not taking the right route choice as I was thinking. He takes this quite steep uphill, and he's not afraid for doing elevation. Jörgen Buckley, he goes on the wide track, and at the moment I think, because it will be really fast when he passes the top, I think he will be ahead of Jonathan Ståhl here. But as we saw, he was also really strong in the wide tracks earlier, so probably the lake route choice can be the best for Jonathan, since he's a really strong double puller. And we will see now Jörgen is over the top. He will clearly be ahead of Jonathan and Evert here, coming with a lot of speed. And it looks like Stanimir is doing the same choice there. 55 seconds. I will try to take some small clock there, but I think Jonathan is probably around 30 seconds behind Jörgen. Maybe not a 30, but they are clearly behind now. You see Jörgen coming with a lot of speed there. He was there around 20 seconds ahead of Jonathan, and also with a higher speed coming on the wide track. So it was a better route choice from Jörgen there. We didn't see anyone of the top athletes on the first loop doing that route choice. Probably a bit afraid of looking at that hill, thinking, this is quite tough. It looks like Niklas Ekström and Apo Vippola is doing different route choices now. Apo is doing the same as he did on the first loop. And we know that Henrik Friksen lost time. He went in on the black road, but I think that Apo Vippola will lose seconds here towards Niklas Ekström and Nicola Müller. I said he looked really strong, but I'm not certain he is this strong. And we have the TV2 here, one of the Japanese athletes, number 59. That's Taichi Saga. He is on the first loop, so he's a bit behind the best athletes. And they have been out in the forest around 45 minutes at the moment. So as I said, 60 minutes, they will not be able to keep that pace, or that time, I would say. They are keeping a really high pace, fast pace, but not 60 minutes. We are waiting for the red and blue, not the red. So this is also a Japanese athlete. They have started focusing for World Championship in 2 years. It will be held in Japan. Actually, Japan held the World Championship, I think it was 2009. And now they will be again 2026, 17 years later. And that was Sugata Kura. And here it looks like it's the blue and red Norwegian Jørgen Backlid. But he is going in, yeah, correctly. He's going to the south control and then coming back to this control. And no Swede as we see yet. We are looking for the Swede Jonathan Ståhl. He's coming there. And actually less than 20 seconds, I would say. He has gained some seconds and he did a bit different into the control there, taking a bit rounder on the right. And Evert Toivonen, Stanimir Belmashev doing the same as Jonathan Ståhl. So here we have Evert Toivonen at the third position on this forking at the moment. And it will be interesting to see. I think they have passed Apo Vippola. I think Apo is losing seconds clearly on making almost the same route choice as Henrik Fredriksson Oz did on the first loop. And we will see when Jørgen Backlid is coming back here, because he will be the first at this control. Probably, I would say, Stanimir Belmashev has been coming together with Niklas Ekström and Nicola Müller in the other group. So Jørgen Backlid has been down to the F option. And you see Niklas Ekström coming in from the north to the TV control. So it's probably quite close when they come to this control in between, which is in the lead. And turning around, meeting Jonathan Ståhl, Evert Toivonen for Jørgen Backlid. Knows he has some seconds on them, gained some seconds on that route choice, since he has probably not seen them before. So that's a confidence boost for Jørgen, thinking, yes, I did the right route choice. And you see clearly Niklas Ekström, Nicola Müller almost at the control. Apo Vippola looks like he has 30, 40, 50 seconds still to the control, so he's losing time there. And we will see if we get them at the Nicola Müller, Niklas Ekström still in the lead there, has turned around, chased by Jørgen Backlid and Jonathan Ståhl coming from the other forking option. And Apo Vippola probably coming somewhere around. Yeah, here we get to see Evert. Then Evert is, we will see he is 153 behind. Then we know Jørgen Backlid was there 117. So, and then we have Apo Vippola just behind Evert Toivonen and meeting Thomas Uotinen. So you see, it's a problem here. In the lead here, I would say Nicola Müller and Niklas Ekström just some seconds ahead of Jørgen Backlid. Then we have Jonathan Ståhl. Then we have Evert Toivonen and Apo Vippola. That is the standing at this point. TV2 at lap 2. So they have passed the control and then they doesn't go out in the standings a second time. That's why we get to see those athletes there. And we should see here. Yeah. They have... We see Nicola Müller and Niklas Ekström still having the same. You see, that's a group. Jørgen Backlid is behind them, together with them. And Jonathan Ståhl barely 15 seconds behind, going there at the fourth position. We will see Evert Toivonen, Apo Vippola, if they go to the Apo, if he goes to the left, or he goes the straight as Niklas Ekström and Nicola Müller. It's the correct way. We saw that Jonathan Ståhl and Jørgen Backlid actually lost some seconds there on the first loop, going right on the narrow, left on the narrow track where Rasmus Wickbom is coming at the moment. So Niklas Ekström and Nicola Müller and also Apo Vippola doing the correct route choice there. And we also know that Styrk Kamsvåg and Vegard Gulbrandsen lost time going out to the lake to the F option, which means that Jonathan Ståhl and Jørgen Backlid is doing the correct route choice towards the F control. So they are going as they should at the moment. So that's the top four, and then they have fifth and sixth, Evert Toivonen and Apo Vippola. And I think that's a bit disappointing for Apo. He had catched up on the other guys and still feeling confident. I think this is the best choice taking, right? And losing around 40, 50 seconds, almost a minute behind now. And he has, even though Apo is looking really strong today, he has probably gone quite hard when he started to see the Niklas and Nicolas backs. And you're not able to do that kind of hard skiing all the way. So he put up some power just to gain them, to catch them, and now he loses them again. And it's not certain he will have the power to catch their backs again. Niklas Ekström, Nicola Müller going in. They will not have... They will have the G option and then a bit shorter to the next control. They are looking like they do the correct route choice into the G option here. Jørgen Backlid, Jonathan Ståhl coming towards the the uphill in just ahead of the F option. And Stanimir Belamashev right now at the 7th position. We see John Schneider. He will lose some seconds to his opponents there, doing the same route choice as Jonathan Ståhl and Jürgen Buckley did on the first loop. And we have these guys fighting for the top 10. Miska Tervala, Thomas Uotinen, John Schneider, Henrik Fredriksen As, Gustav Nordström. I think it's a bit far down to Rasmus Wickbom and the Chasers. Misa Tuomala coming to that control, and actually he was going really far down to the south to this control, to the TV control, but I think he lost some seconds there. It's often when you just see one athlete doing one route choice, it's often not the best, I would say. Niklas Ekström, Nicola Müller going straight into the control and will go right back up a bit to the control. And then they are quite close to the second map change. Jürgen Buckley doing a different route choice than Apo Vippola did. And we know that that is a better route choice. Jonathan Ståhl going all the way. He takes this hill and then will probably work with the speed that he gets on the wide track. Interesting to see if he will be able to catch some seconds. I think he will lose seconds because it takes a lot of time there. They will be fast, but Jürgen Buckley going down in the marsh area, it's very flat. It goes quite fast when he is out there. So we will see when they come to the control. Jürgen going in there, and we will see if he takes the right route choice there or the left route choice when he comes towards their F option, not the G controls. He will pass the G control, but it's not the control he should have. Jonathan Ståhl going in there towards the control, and I think probably he should have kept his position out on the hill there, continuing more a bit straight and coming to the control from the right position. But he goes in there, and Jürgen Buckley has had a bit stop on the GPS, so we're not certain exactly where he is. Niklas Ekström, Nicola Müller in the lead at the moment, right ahead of Apo Vippola, Jürgen Buckley and Jonathan Ståhl. Apo taking, as it looks, a different route choice compared to Nicola and Niklas. Yeah, I think that was a small mistake from Apo. That's also like a micro route choice, losing some seconds. Niklas Ekström, the young Finn. He is coming here. He was, as I said, third on the World Championship pursuit. And Nicola Müller, he was second there. They are in the top at the moment, 53-42. So they are there. It's just together, 2 seconds between them. The clock is ticking for the Chasers. Jonathan Ståhl, Jürgen Buckley. We had Apo Vippola, Evert Toivonen. We'll see. I think that probably this forking that these guys had in the end was a bit shorter, and it looks like Jürgen clearly Jürgen lost time. He had picked them up. So these guys are in the top. Niklas and Nicola. They are not having the same forking out in the beginning here, as it looks like. Niklas doing a small shortcut there and taking the C option, and then we know that probably Nicola has the A option left. Yes, Niklas going into the control. There we have Apo Vippola. Then they are around 45 seconds behind. Apo Vippola together with Jürgen Buckley, third and fourth position. Then 15 seconds down to Jonathan Ståhl in the fifth position at the moment, and it looks like these guys are starting to get a bit hammered in their legs. Apo taking the map, getting it in the map holder quite fast. You see, Jürgen was only 2 seconds behind him earlier, and now it's like 5 or 6 seconds. That is a crucial moment, I would say, that you have to be able to get the map in, and it looks like Jürgen is still struggling a bit with getting the map in, because if you're fast doing that, you can get to push the pace again and read the map longer also into the controls. And it looks like Jürgen took the other route choice to the C option. Then it means that he has the same option as Niklas Ekström. And I think Nicola Miller has the longer forking here. Here we have Evert Toivonen taking a bit of a drink, probably high five from the Finnish federation here. And he's working. He started as number 6. He is at number 6. And as you see, it's a problem with the timing. So Niklas Ekström's time is wrong. He is around 2 minutes behind and having 30 seconds down to Stanimir Belomashev and Sean Schneider at 7th and 8th position here. As I said, Jürgen Backlid and Niklas Ekström having the same forking, and I can clearly say that Nicola Miller, he will lose some seconds towards Niklas Ekström. Jonathan Ståhl, Apo Vippola, looks like they have probably the B option. We will see when Jonathan comes out there. And I think Nicola will struggle a bit here in the beginning. We will see if he will lose some seconds to the first TV control. Here we have the chasers. Some of the athletes. Looks like Stanimir Belomashev, Sean Schneider, and I'm not certain which is the last out of those. It can be, yeah, it's probably a Japanese that has only done 1 loop instead of 2 loops the other guys, because you see that's a speed difference that's quite clearly there. Yeah, you see here Nicola Miller going to the A option and Niklas Ekström going to the C option, as the same as Jürgen Backlid. And Jonathan Ståhl and Apo Vippola going to the B option. You know that Jonathan, he was 15 seconds behind Apo earlier. He taken a quite different route choice, going a bit more round on the wide track, probably around the same time still, 15 seconds or about up to Apo Vippola. So Niklas Ekström going to the south and then going up to the TV control. Nicola Miller, he's up at his control, but you see Niklas Ekström is clearly closer to his control than Nicola is, but it's quite fast when he comes out to the wide track. Nicola goes down in the south up to the wide tracks there, it looks like, and I think that's the best to go out there. We will see Jürgen Backlid chasing Ekström around 30 seconds, and we know he was around 45 seconds behind earlier. So he has had a good start on this last loop, Jürgen Backlid, and it looks like Jonathan Ståhl, he did a mistake there. He did a mistake to the B control and lost 5-10 seconds there. So Evert Toivonen is quite close to him now again. Stanimir Belomashev having the A option and will probably struggle to keep the pace. These guys are quite clearly ahead of the chasers at positions 9, Thomas Uotinen, 10th, Rasmus Wickbom. Miska Tervala has lost some positions, 11th. Then we have Henrik Fredriksson Oss, Misa Tuomala, Gustav Nordström, and Olle Ilmarjama fighting. I would say the best world junior here. And here we have Niklas Ekström. He has taken the TV control, and he is in the lead again. He started as number 1. He has been up and down, up and down. Now he's in the lead again. And we know that there will be more of the same quite soon. So being in the top position here, it's very good. And you see, this is the problem with these steep hills, because it's hard to do the double pulling. And you have to try to use your legs a bit, but then you got stuck in the snow. You have to lift your ski a bit back when you go up. And you see he's coming towards the turning around there. And Apo Vippola, Jürgen Backlid, I think Apo is still ahead of Jürgen there. So it looks like it will be a fight for the silver between Apo and Jürgen. Jürgen going around to that control all the way. Interesting to see. And Nicola Miller coming from the A option, also quite close to this control. So probably those 3 guys will see each other when they come to this TV control. And sadly for the Swede, Jonathan Ståhl has lost quite a lot of time here in the beginning of this loop. So we see Apo Vippola coming into the control. We have had Nicola Miller there. And we will see if he turns around like Niklas Ekström. Apo just sub-seconds ahead of Nicola Miller and Jürgen Backlid here. So it looks good for the Finnish guys. But it definitely looks good for Niklas Ekström. He is going straight out to this 26th control. And here we get to follow Apo on the narrow track. And you see it's really heavy out there. Probably when it's the floor-free waxing, when it's this temperature, it's a lot of, as you see, it's a bit windy. The skis get a bit dirty quite early, and the floor earlier helped with working against that. So I think that they are feeling that their skis are quite a bit slower now but compared to when they started. And we see here Niklas Ekström is clearly in the lead, and then we have the group fighting for the silver medal with Apo Vippola, Nicola Miller, and then Jörgen Backlid chasing. And then Jonathan Ståhl and Evert Toivonen fighting for the 5th position there. Evert almost catch up on the Swede here. So you see the red dress, you see the red and blue dress. I think we saw the white and blue dress, so they see each other. They are in around 5-7 seconds, these guys. And this is it's not forked, as I said earlier. So this part is straight. They know that they have the same controls because they have not had anything like this earlier. So they know they can manage in their heads to think that, okay, now it's up to my legs and muscles if I just keep these guys' backs. And I still think that Jörgen Backlid is feeling confident, but these are 3 guys that are really strong: Apo Vippola, Nicola Müller, and Jörgen Backlid. It looks like Jonathan Ståhl has turned around. Evert Toivonen coming there on the 6th position, and then Stanimir Velomashev close to him. I'm not certain what Jonathan Ståhl is doing, if he crashed or what he is doing. He turned around, it looks like so. Probably we have Evert Toivonen and Stanimir Velomashev now fighting for the 5th position. That's clearly a mistake from Jonathan Ståhl, the Swede. He looked good. He was in the fight for the medals, but his ending here, he's probably a bit tired, and he is losing position by position here. Now he is out under control, but he has lost from the 5th position down to, as it looks now, the 8th position. And here it looks like Jörgen Backlid taking another route choosing compared to Apo Vippola and Nicola Miller, and I'm not really certain why, because I think that's a mistake from Jörgen Backlid. It's not shorter going where he goes, it's not flatter. I think that's a mistake. We know Jörgen is really strong and really fast, but I don't see any reason why going a bit more around to this control than going straight in like Apo and Nicola did there. We will see Niklas Ekström coming up to the 26th control and taking that at the moment. So we will see when they come towards the 26th between Nicola Miller, Apo Vippola, and Jörgen Backlid. And Niklas Ekström continuing, and we'll probably go on this wide track and then out on the narrow tracks into the 27th control. Shouldn't say too much, but it looks like maybe Apo Vippola doing some small mistake there. It just stopped his GPS. It's been tricky in there. So Jörgen coming. It's really close actually between those guys still. Maybe Jörgen has passed. Oh, they are coming together now. We will see. We will see. It's definitely more exciting because Niklas Ekström, if he doesn't do something extraordinary stupid at the moment, he will take his 2nd World Cup win on as many days, because he's coming into the 27th control, turning in there, and then it's just the 28th and into the finish. So Niklas Ekström, he is looking like he is today's winner, just as yesterday, and he is in impeccable form, I would say, shape. He has been home in Finland and competing, and Apo Vippola has actually beaten him once, but I think Niklas won 3 out of 4 competitions, and so I'm not surprised at all that he is fighting for the win and collecting them like Jörgen did in Ramsau. Still looks like Nicola Miller, Apo Vippola is a bit before Jörgen Backlid. And here we come, Niklas Ekström. He won yesterday at the sprint. He went out in the top. He has been up and down in the forest. He got chased, he got passed, but now he is up in the top again and coming towards the finish. And he doesn't need to worry himself at all about the other athletes. Looking at the control, probably hearing the shouting from the Finnish leaders. he is today's winner also, taking it a bit slow. And we say a big congratulations, Niklas Ekström, showing that there were no one who was able to stop him today. And he had quite a long forking in the beginning, and often it's quite good because then they got to go together with the other guys, and they had the shorter forking out on this last loop. But what a race by Niklas Ekström. A big congratulations. But now it's more interesting to see what is happening behind him between Jörgen, Nicola, and Apo. I think there will be harder sprint here. And here, Apo. We see Apo, Nicola Müller, and Jörgen Buckley. They are still together. Jörgen Buckley trying to pass Nicola Müller, going on the third gear, but losing time on Nicola Müller there. Actually, it looks like Apo Vipola is having his hand on this second place, but Nicola Müller coming really hard, and then Jörgen Buckley. We will see, taking different controls here at the last control. Apo Vipola going, pushing really hard all the way. And it looks like Apo Vipola has his glove on the second position. And Jörgen Buckley not even trying to pass Nicola Müller. Of course he's trying, but he takes the same lane and hasn't the possibility. Apo Vipola in on the second position, Nicola Müller, and then Jörgen Buckley. Fourth yesterday and fourth today again. And I think that was a really nice feeling, as you see on Apo Vipola, for his self-confidence, beating both Nicola and Jörgen Buckley in this sprint towards the finish. That is something he's gonna carry with him for a lot of time, probably against the summer training also. Nicola Müller, the Swiss, took from 5th to 3rd position, and Jörgen Buckley, as I said, stayed from 4th to 4th. And they were almost a minute behind Niklas Ekström in the end. So Niklas Ekström, as I said, great race. Nicola Müller there, checking his map, and he will probably have to he has found the right route choice, and definitely hasn't got them all. But a great race from Nicola Müller. I think we are waiting for Evert Toivonen and Stanimir Belomashev. Yep, as it looks, they have left Sean Schneider, and here he comes. Evert Toivonen in the blue and white, and then we have in the green Stanimir Belomashev fighting for the 5th and 6th position here. It looks like Stanimir is, I think he went with Evert up that hill quite easy, but we will see. He's an old guy, Stanimir, 36 years old, comparing to Evert, who is almost 10 years younger than Stanimir. Taking the last control, and now it looks like Stanimir is pushing and trying to, yeah, he passed him on the inside. Evert opened up a gap there, and Stanimir took a chance and got past him. And Stanimir Belomashev, 2nd yesterday and 5th today. And then we have Evert Toivonen 6th and 6th. So as I said before the start, or during the start, it would be hard for those guys starting behind the first guys, because they were the best in the Ramsau, and they are clearly the best today. You see, it's a big difference between the top 4 and these guys, more than 2 minutes between Jörgen Buckley and Stanimir Belomashev, and they are more than 3 minutes behind Niklas Ekström. But the Finnish guys showing that they have a wide and good team with 3 guys top 6 today. I think we're waiting for the red and white. John Schneider, yes, coming into the 7th position, and he has picked up 10 positions today. And we also see the ladies warming up. They are starting in 5 minutes. John Schneider into the 7th position here, making a heart to the probably he knows it's the Estonian Independence Day, thanking the organizers for a great day and thanking Estonia for this day. He is married to Daisy Kudre Schneider, so he is used to being here in Estonia. He's gonna take the interview in Estonian, so we start to look which are
tegid
coming
palju vigu
behind.
või mitte?
Raske küsimus, no ikka paar viga tuli. No kõige raskem oli teevalik. Võtab kogu aeg nii palju aega. Midagi hea kogu aeg ei näe. Siis otsid, no siis lairajad oli päris mingi hea vastus, ma arvan, et võtta lairajad, see nii kerge kui
Rasmus Viktor catching up starting as 9, coming in as 9. And we have more Finns. And Gustav and I would say the Finns 6 top 12, so it's a great day for the Finnish athletes. We will see if the ladies have the same luck out there. Here we have more Finns, but we also have Ulli Ilmajama going out as number 14, finishing as number 14, the best Estonian today, and Miisa Tuomala at number 15. If you're looking for Jonathan Ståhl, who was in the fight, I think he has had some equipment problem because he's still going on the course, but it's really, really slow. So probably he's holding one ski in the hand or something. Because I hope he's not injured, but it looks like he continued on the course. So here we have the Norwegian, and we have Henrik Fredriksen Aas. And as I said, the pursuit is not his distance. I think he will be better on the interval start tomorrow. But now we focus on the women's race. And in the top position yesterday was a really big surprise. Judita Traubaite from Lithuania taking the win just ahead of Magdalena Olsson, 5 seconds and 10 seconds ahead of Anna Ulvensen, the 2 World Championship queens. So Judita Traubaite in the green dress, Lithuania. I think it's the first Lithuanian World Cup win ever. And I think that was impeccable. She's a really strong athlete. She was not at the World Championship because she was at the European Champs in biathlon. But really strong and having a good race yesterday. Actually, I think that she might have been a bit helped by she started really early. And it's a hard snow crust, and you could see on the GPS her shortcuts were quite much faster than comparing to Magdalena Olsson and Anna Ulvensen, who are a bit bigger athletes. So and they also started later, and we know that it was warm. So that's something I think will not gain her today. So I think still Anna Ulvensen, Magdalena Olsson are the big 2 favorites today, and they are actually going out 47 seconds ahead of 4th position Ella Turesson. Here we have the course. It's some forkings that we are used to having from the men's course, but not as far away, and a bit different TV control. So we will see on the wide track there on TV second, and the first TV control is the same, and that's almost the same forking there to that controls also. And then coming in to the last loop, and they have also 3 loops. They have the straight course is 12.6 kilometers, and the shortest route is 17 kilometers. And as we saw, the guys had longer time than expected, and I think 61 minutes. It will be tough for the ladies. The guys had 66 instead of 60, so probably some more minutes. And then you see the ending is the same on the women's course compared to the men's course. And now it's really close to the start for the ladies. Judita Traubaite going out together with Magdalena Olsson and Anna Ulvensen. She's ready, and you see she's a bit shorter than her opponents. Going out there, 5 seconds down to Magdalena Olsson and 10 to Anna Ulvensen. And then you see it's a gap, 47, 48 seconds with Ella Turesson, the youngster who won the Junior World Championship gold medal in Austria. And then we have Daisy Kuderschneider going here on home soil, having not as good as World Championship as she has had earlier. And I think she wants to show how fast she can be here on home ground. And as I said here, you see Anna Ulveson is getting behind some Japanese athletes who's not able to get the map into the map holder. But you see, she's still struggling with the map holder, holding with her hands there, and losing some crucial seconds. Because now, when it's really close, of course, she wants to catch the other guys, the other ladies, even though she doesn't know which forking they have. So these two athletes probably hasn't had the same forking, Ella and Daisy here, starting as number 4 and 5. Then there was a jump again to Maria Hoskari and Amanda Ylifutka. Amanda also won a junior world champion, so a youngster there, also from Finland. And then we have Elin Schagerström going out as number 8. And we know Elin Schagerström's strength. She is really, really strong, but had some mistakes yesterday. So we will see how she does. And then it's a jump again. And now we're starting to get up to 2 minutes. Lotteline Ekström, Nina Kärne, Andrea Diaksova. I think that these guys, they have to do a perfect race. A phenomenal race. They have to do every route choice correct to try and chase some positions and catch some positions. Lotteline Ekström, also a junior, so we have 3 juniors going out here, top 10 in the Senior World Cup. And we have Nina Kärne just behind her. We know Nina is really strong on the wide tracks. And then we have Anne-Sophie Krog, Anna Asa, Sari Väärinen, Daisy, Doris Kudre, excuse me, Elian Deininger, Hedda Virtanen, Vilma Pesu, Synne Strand, Evine Weste Andersen, Hanna Eriksson. All those athletes are in 30 seconds. So I can say that would be really interesting to see if that can be a big group working together. Elian Deininger, we know her. Started as number 18 as the pursuit in the World Championship and ended up as number 4. Now she starts at number 17, so we will see how many positions she will be able to catch up. We know she's a really strong skier and also had some difficulties on yesterday's sprint. There were quite a big time difference between the runners. So we'll see here. We see that Vilma Pesu, Doris Kudre, Anna Asa is there, Sari Väärinen, Elian Deininger there in the red and white, number 117. And also Synne Strand in that group. She was 8 on the pursuit on the World Champs. And also last in that group, Hanna Eriksson. She was 7th on the World Championship pursuit. So there are some really strong athletes, and if they are lucky, they can get the same forking here in the beginning. We see Magdalena Olsson having the B option, Anna Ulveson, Maria Hoskari, Judita Trabaite having the C option, and it looks like Anna Ulveson had already passed Judita here in the beginning. And we will see, I'm not certain. Yeah, also Elin Schagerström is going to the C option. Magdalena Olsson totally alone on the B option. But Maria Hoskari doing a mistake there. Yeah, Maria Hoskari doing a mistake, going a bit round into the control, and she will lose time there. Ella Turesson alone on the A option. We will see. Is it Daisy Kudre-Schneider who has lost? She has probably had the A option. No, the B option. I think she lost some time there, but she was starting. So it looks like the B option at the moment is the slower one. I'm not certain what no! Maria Hoskari, they don't have the C. I'm sorry. The C option going around there. Maria Hoskari is going around using the wide jack. And Elin Schagerström. What a start by Elin Schagerström. She started more than a minute behind Anna Ulveson. And it looks like she is, she has catched up, but they have the different forkings, of course. But they have already passed Judita Trabaite. So the start for the Lithuanian, maybe she... it's tough for her trying to reload from yesterday's race. And it looks like we have Magdalena Olsson coming to the B option. And as I said, she is probably losing some seconds going, as it looks, on the shorter route choice there, but not using the downhill as much as you can. So Maria Hoskari, Elin Schagerström is at the moment in the top on the C option. And I think that is really nice start for Elin Schagerström, seeing that, I already passed Judita Trabaite, I've catched Maria Hoskari, this is a great start for me. So they are together there. Anna Ulvensen coming into the TV control, and looks like it's some athletes that are. Yeah, Anna Ulvensen has been there. He is 16 seconds ahead of Magdalena Olsson, and then the C group will probably come some seconds later. We will see comparing to the A option. Then it feels like it's quite close between the options. Looks like the B option was a bit slower because Magdalena Olsson lost some seconds. But I think Anna Ulvenson is doing a mistake there. Yeah, she is definitely. She wants to go to the E. She should go like Magdalena Olsson does, making a small uphill on the narrow track and then going definitely shorter on the wide track. But it's interesting to see. You can also see Ella Turesson has lost some seconds. She's 56 seconds behind, and then she's 20 seconds behind the group with Maria Hoskari, Elin Schagerström, and Judita Traubaite. They look like they are going the straight choice to the D option. Yes, and I'm not certain. Traubaite has the E option. But it was really clear that this route choice that Magdalena Olsson does was the best on the men's part. But it's different because the ladies are often not as strong in their arms. So actually it looks like Anna Ulvenson maybe not lose so much seconds, but we know she was 16 seconds ahead of Magdalena Olsson. And she is definitely closer if they are not together at the moment. So a mistake from Anna there. Yep, they are together at the moment. Maria Hoskari actually gaining some seconds towards Elin Schagerström out there from the control, and they are going the D option. They are going straight out on the lake. We did not see so many men doing that route choice. It will be interesting to see. Ella Turesson, she was 20 seconds behind them, and she is having the same control. So we'll see when they come to the D option. Daisy Kuder-Schneider together there with Ella Turesson. Amanda Ylifutka having a good start. It looks like we have Nina Kärner coming out to the TV control. Andrea Diaksova, Vilma Pesu, Heta Virtanen. Had the C option there. And Elin Schagerström, Maria Hoskari are doing different route choices, and we will see which is the fastest. They will probably go down to the same crossing a bit south of the line, a bit just in the end of southwest of the lake. So we will see Maria Hoskari going not on the lake. It can be a bit bumpy, more bumpy I would say, when you're going in this like land between water and marsh and land. So I think Elin Schagerström looks like she is gaining seconds there. But we will see compared to Magdalena Olsson when they come to the control, because they have to do quite a steep uphill, while Magdalena will probably go in on the narrow track and not having to... Oh! Elin Schagerström making a shortcut! Oh, ho, ho! Look at Elin Schagerström there! This looks great. And Ella Turesson making some kind of in-between there, I would say. Going a bit down. Probably she will go down to the lake, or I'm not certain what she are doing there. Elin Schagerström making her shortcut, and I think she will be clearly some seconds ahead of Maria Hoskari when they come together, because probably Maria Hoskari will take this steep uphill on the wide track that we saw Jörgen Backlid doing in the other direction, while Elin Schagerström can go a bit more round. And we know that Elin Schagerström, she was 20 seconds behind Magdalena Olsson, so we will see when we come into the D control which one has taken the fastest route choice. And Judita Traubaite doing quite a big mistake, as it looks like, because she has the E option, and then she should be where Anna Ulvenson is, because they are having that control right to the left of Anna Ulvenson. Judita Traubaite not having the start as yesterday, and you see Maria Hoskari losing a lot of time here on Elin Schagerström. We'll see if Elin continues to go down a bit to the narrow track or goes up on the wide track. Actually, she continues on the wide track, down to the narrow track, and then I think it looks like she is around 20 seconds behind Magdalena Olsson and Anna Ulvensen there in the lead. So Elin Schagerström, she has had a great start. Of course, not the farthest forking, but a great start, I would say. Daisy Kuder-Schneider, it looks like she has passed Judita Trabaite also, and I think Ella Turesson's route choice here to the D control was not the best. He has been going a bit up and down and losing some seconds there, I think. And we see Elian Deininger in this big group has started to catch some positions. So looks like Hanna Eriksson has had a great start, and then it's a big leap down to Johanka Simkova, who's leading the other group. And looks like Lea Widmer, Epp Wahlberg is doing the south route choice, the left route choice to this D option. But I think that this uphill that we saw Jürgen Backlid almost flying up it will not be the same pace for these ladies. Magdalena Olsson has taken the D option and is turning around and meeting Elin Schagerström. And Elin, she knows she started more than a minute behind, and it's definitely not a minute. I did a small talking there, and I would say it's less than or around 20 seconds down to Elin Schagerström. So that's something she really wants to have with her. Anna Ulvensen coming up to the wide track again, so we saw the E option was a bit shorter there, and she is working hard here, going out on the wide track, and it will be, yeah, she goes up there. This control is quite an easy route choice, I would say. You could do it a slightly different way, but I think this is the best way that she is going. And the D control, they have a bit more tricky part. I think they will go a bit to the north in the beginning and then a bit down. We will see Magdalena Olsson. Maybe she comes up here to the wide track. We will see how she goes. And Maria Hoskari is more than a minute behind, almost a minute behind Elin Schagerström. I would say 50 seconds behind Elin Schagerström. And that is almost purely the shortcut and the route choice that Elin did on the lake there. So very interesting to see from Elin Schagerström. And then we have also Ella Turesson losing crucial seconds. She was just 20 seconds behind, and it looks like she has turned around now. I don't think she has taken the control. She's not certain where she's going. She's still going down. I'm not certain what Ella Turesson is, but she's not going in the right direction. As we see, she has the D option, and she should then continue in the other direction. But she is out on the probably. I don't think she can have lost her so much because she is out on the meadow. She should know that she is on the. Probably she has the E option then on the map. I'm not certain. Judita Trabaite taking another route choice. No, actually the same route choice as Anna Ulvensen. It's Magdalena Olsson going actually earlier up. I think Elin Schagerström, yeah, she continues more to the right, and I think she can use downhill a bit more than Magdalena Olsson. We see Ella Turesson has turned around again. I'm not certain where she is going. And it looks like Amanda Ylifutka is on this E option, trying to keep the elevation so much. She doesn't want to go uphill. They go a bit round. Yesterday it was really good to go quite a long bit around. So she's going there. It looks like Hanna Eriksson and Vilma Peso is doing the same there. Ella Turesson has turned around again, and she has lost many positions. Oh, she's coming up to the D option. And I don't see if you break something, there can be positions where you can put up the skis. You can send out skis, but I don't think it's out there on that meadow. So she has probably just lost herself, being really, I would say, stressed, and that was not the best. And we see here Elin Schagerström coming down there. You should compare her to Magdalena Olsson. Daisy Kuder-Schneider has come up, and I think actually she lost some seconds there on Judita Trabaite going around. Anna Ulvensen still in the lead, and Elin Schagerström definitely has passed Magdalena Olsson. So to the to the D option, you should definitely go a bit more around or keeping the line. Magdalena Olsson losing crucial seconds there. She was 20 seconds ahead of Elin, and it looks like she's more than 10 seconds behind her at the moment. But Anna Ulvenson in a big lead. Amanda Ylifutka coming here to this E option, and she is there in the forest. She is at position 6. Maria Hoskari doing the same route choice as Elin Schagerström. Comparing to Magdalena Olsson, she's gaining time. So we will see. We get to see here, I think, Sari Värnen and Hanna Eriksson, they were together with Vilma Peso at the E option. So we will see when they come to the control. It looks like the more uphill route choice there looks a bit faster, because I think it will be very fast coming down from the slope now. And we know we should have Elin Schagerström should go into the right. Yeah, she's going around all the way, not taking the narrow track. They could also take the narrow track where Magdalena Olsson just passed and not go back so much, but she goes a bit downhill and then stays on the wide track. Actually, looks like Sari Värnen and Hanna Eriksson has passed Vilma Peso, so perhaps the faster was to go around. Here we have Anna Ulvenson, number 103, and she is in a big lead at the moment. We know that Magdalena Olsson and Elin Schagerström, who were the closest, they have had a bit longer forking, but still he has left Judita Traubaite and Daisy Kuder-Schneider far behind, and she's working hard here on the third gear on the freestyle skiing. Anna Ulvenson, who took the gold medal at the World Championship with on the middle distance and on the sprint relay. On the pursuit, she was up on the medal position. She started out a bit at the 4th position. She was up on the medal position just in the end, doing a crucial mistake there, trying to be able to pass a road, and she was lost more than 30 seconds there, and she was with Frida Sandberg, who took the bronze medal, and then she turned around and almost catched up on her, but ended up in the 4th position. So looking really good for Anna Ulvenson. Elin Schagerström coming up to the D option there, and then they should have the G option. It looks like it's clearly better to have the E option. They have lost a lot of time, but then we know it to the next loop that the group that has the E option, they will have I would say they will gain a minute towards the D option ladies. And we see Anna Asa with the D option, the same as Elin Schagerström. She's coming to that control and she's trying to I would say go around on the lake, lose some elevation, but I think she will lose a lot of time there. And we see that we have coming into the Maria Hoskari coming also to the D control. Elin Schagerström is at the TV control. Amanda Ylifutka also there. So they are about 2 minutes behind. So I would say 2 minutes almost is the difference between the forking there. Then we don't know the G compared to the F forking in the end here. You see 1 minute behind Judita Traubaite and Daisy Kuder-Schneider. And then 4th and 5th Amanda Ylifutka, Elin Schagerström, Nina Kärne, Magdalena Olsson, Hanna Eriksson, Sari Värnen. But then we know Nina Kärne, Sari Värnen, Hanna Eriksson, they have had the E option. And I would say compared to, for example, Maria Hoskari, that they are ahead of Maria Hoskari in the terrain. They are probably not ahead of her in the race when Maria should do the second loop here also. Anna Ulvenson going just as she wants to do. Daisy Kuder-Schneider, Judita Traubaite keeping together here. And we see Elin Schagerström going into the G option. And we know by a fact from the men's race that she will lose some seconds. Here we get to follow Daisy Kuder-Schneider, the Estonian, up on the 2nd position now. And probably some seconds ahead of Judita Traubaite, since we don't see her ahead of her. So, and I think that Judita leaves the orienteering part to Daisy in this part of the race. And it looks like she knows exactly where to go. We see some athlete bit ahead of her, but I think that's some of the men's. Yep, some of the guys who has been out there. Daisy working hard, getting up here, and you know that. We see that actually Elin Schagerström, as I said, doing the slower route choice. And then we have Magdalena Olsson, Nina Kärne, Sari Värnen going around, and they will gain seconds. I also see that Hanna Eriksson is on the same narrow track as Elin Schagerström, and those two athletes will lose seconds. We see here Hella Turesson with the D option. She has lost a lot of seconds in the beginning. And Andrea Diaksova doing this shortcut as Björn Akpole did. She wants to go up to the track now. I think she lost some seconds there. So we will see. Elin Schagerström coming to this control, and we know she was ahead of Magdalena Olsson 30 seconds. And I think it's closer than that at the moment. So as I said, the old TV control on the men's race were the route choice that Magdalena Olsson, Nina Kärne, Sari Värnen makes was better. Anna Ulvensson coming into the control and taking quite a big different route choice compared to Daisy Kudre-Schneider and Judita Traubaite. And I think actually she should have gone a bit to the right, up almost to the black road. Passing the black road would have been faster for Anna Ulvensson there. Comparing at least the micro route choice where she is going now. Not certain which is the best route choice to the F control. And I see on my other screen that Magdalena Olsson almost catched up 30 seconds on Elin Schagerström there. So quite a heavy loss for those runners. I see also Maria Hoskari going in on that track. So Elin Schagerström, Hanna Eriksson, Maria Hoskari losing some seconds to their G control. And Anna Ulvensson in a big lead. And you see Daisy Kudre-Schneider, Judita Traubaite going back there into the control. And they were a minute behind. And I think it's less now. Not so much, but small. And then they had a minute down to Amanda Ylifutka, and that's it looks like it's almost the same between these athletes. So we know that they are going out soon, going towards the TV3 control soon, and the map change. And Anna Ulvensson will get to hear that she has done as good as she probably thinks she has been doing. She's going now in this narrow track system, taking, as it looks, her control from the left. Yeah, we will see how she goes there. I think that she should have gone a bit to the right. But this is not, I would say, Anna's favorite part of the race. She likes the wide tracks more, where she can use her strength and size, working hard on those. Elin Schagerström, as I said, almost catched by Magdalena Olsson and that group on the G option. But she's still first on the G option, you see down in the left. But it's just barely 10 seconds almost like between Elin Schagerström, Magdalena Olsson. Then we have the Finnish athletes, Nina Kärne, Sari Värnen. Sari Värnen has stood a good start. Went out as number 14 and looks like she is higher now, but we know she has had the E option and faster than the D option as the Swedish ladies there. Actually, Judita Traubaite is the one leading Daisy Kudre-Schneider here, and I think that shows it shows both that Judita is really strong, but also that Daisy maybe is not in the shape she was last year, because this is the part where I would say no one can leave Daisy Kudre-Schneider behind. He's so technical, he's so good in that narrow track dense system, but staying behind Judita, and I think that's not the best. We will see how this continues. Amanda Ylifutka into that control, and we know Anna Ulvensson is soon at the arena change, changing the map. And we know she had around a minute down to Judita and Daisy, and then there was 2 minutes. Here we have Anna Ulvensson early picking up her map from the map holder and throwing it, and in the lead here, gets to hear it. I think she gets some drink, Yes, getting some drink here. Feeling up. Had 25 minutes on her first loop. And we know the men, I think they had 26. So around the same time as that first loop here. So we will see when the other athletes come to this changeover. But it's really tricky to say how she is compared to the Swedish athletes Magdalena Olsson, Elin Schagerström. We know Magdalena Olsson has actually done a small mistake with the route choosing, but they are not. They have had the longer forking. They were around. I would say Elin Schagerström. She was 20 seconds behind Anna earlier. So we will see here. Actually, Judita Traubaite has gained some seconds on this part of the track. They are now 52 and 59 seconds behind. And you see clearly, Daisy is not able to keep Judita's back. It really shows how strong of a skier Judita Traubaite, the Lithuanian, who surprisingly won yesterday. Of course, it was a surprise because she has done a lot of biathlon this year and not were the world champs. But last year, she was fifth at the World Cup in Norway. So we know she has had some really good speed. And when she gets everything working together, she is this good. So we have there the number second, and Daisy Kuder-Schneider 7 seconds behind her. With this Lithuanian Estonian fight here for the second position at the moment. We should see how the other athletes are going. I think they are. There are some issues for the racers out there. We are waiting. I think Amanda Ylifutka, probably. She was 2 minutes behind. She has lost time. And she's coming here. Yeah, you see Amanda Ylifutka and then Elin Schagerström. It looks like Elin Schagerström, Magdalena Olsson has had the really long forking here. Amanda Ylifutka went out as number 7, up on 4th position here. And a really strong skier. We know she won the Junior World Championship in the long distance, and then she also went the sprint relay in the World Championship. So she was so strong. She went out in the Finland second team and ended up there on the 4th position with Apu Vippola. So she's coming here, collecting her second map. And still no other athletes. And as I said, we know that Elin Schagerström, she was 2 minutes behind. There she is, 3 minutes behind now. But we know she lost around 30 seconds on her route choice into that control. So even though I would still say that Elin Schagerström, Magdalena Olsson is the main contenders, together with Traubaite and Kuder-Schneider for Anna Ulvensson's victory, they are far behind. And Elin Schagerström looks like she's left Magdalena Olsson. Yeah, 27 seconds. We saw earlier it was around 10 seconds. So Elin Schagerström showing great speed in her legs. Here we have Elin Schagerström. Nina Kärne, 7th position. Sari Väänänen, 8th position. And they are coming there. Not certain who's coming behind, but Elin Schagerström looking carefully at the map. Skiing here. She doesn't want to do a mistake out on her second loop. And we see here, they have some different. Anna Ulvensson and Daisy Kuder-Schneider having the same C option. Looks like they are doing somewhat the same. Judita Traubaite having the B option. And as I remember, the C option were the fastest on the first loop. At least the A option were some seconds slower. So we will see. We have still waiting for the next athletes to come to the map change. So it's a quite big gap between the top 8 athletes there. And we are still waiting for our athletes coming to the TV control. Anna Ulvensson in the lead. And Judita Traubaite, Daisy Kuder-Schneider. It looks like Elin Schagerström having the A option, doing a quite straight route choice. And here we are at TV1. And we should see there is the skiing cameraman that we have out here, and he is waiting for Anna Ulvenson. We see if he will be able to catch her back. We have had Hanna Eriksson, Heta Virtanen, 9th and 10th position at the map change, and then there's quite a big group. Vilma Pesu, Elian Deininger, Maria Hoskari. I think that Elian Deininger has stood a good race, but here we have Anna Ulvenson, and we get to see her from behind here. She is at the TV control in the lead. She was in the lead at the map change and no issues made. And you see here, she's doing the saxing uphill, working with her legs. And it's really hard to just go double pulling there, so she tries to use her legs. And when some athletes have done that, it's easier for the athletes coming behind because you push down the snow. And it's not so easy to get stuck in that. So we should see now which route choice she takes to the D control. We know that the straight route choice was good for Elin Schagerström, but we also know that the right route choice around the right. And here is Daisy Kuder-Schneider coming into the control. She is here about a minute behind Anna Ulvenson. And no Judita Traubaite, but we know they had different forkings. Daisy with the C and Judita with the B option. We get to follow Anna, and she is going around on the right. A bit longer, but a lot of wide tracks. And we also saw when Maria Hoskari did the right route choice, the straight route choice. She lost quite a lot of time on Elin Schagerström. So the straight route choice is just good if you do as Elin did. And most of the athletes didn't do that. But we will see if she continues around to the right. It was the fastest. No, actually she goes into the left. And we know that Ella Turesson lost some seconds there. And I'm not certain if she knows where she's going. She's taking a shortcut. And you see there is no snow crust anymore. She takes a shortcut there. And going up and then down, yeah. Down to the lake, but I think if she should have gone down to the lake, she should have gone straight and then making the shortcut as Elin did. Of course, hard to know, but you see it's wet out on the lake, so it's ice but water on the ice. And then it's not so hard to make a shortcut. It's probably just to take aim and go in which direction you want. Daisy Kuder-Schneider looking like she's going out on the right route choice also. Will be interesting to see if just like Anna, it goes out on the lake, or if she continues on the wide track. No, she was around 1 minute behind Anna at the first TV control. So easy, and this is also something that can make a difference with your skis, of course, going in the water. I would say that the Wexmen are not happy with that, and that's also something that can differ a lot. Like I remember doing a shortcut. It was really good shortcut, but then me and Edward Kernikov dipped our skis in a small stream, and we lost a lot of time after that because the skis they just died. But at the moment, it looks good for Anna Ulvenson, I would say. We see Daisy Kuder-Schneider, she is going around all the way, and she has a bit uphill to take, but then she comes from the right, and I still think that will probably be some seconds faster than Anna Ulvenson to this D option that these two athletes have. Elin Schagerström has had the A option, and it's definitely the longer option. So the one who has the A option are losing seconds there. So they are together now, the Swedes, Magdalena Olsson and Elin Schagerström. And Amanda Julie Futka, we know she was so much as 1 minute ahead of Magdalena Olsson at the map change. She has had some difficulties because Magdalena Olsson is now ahead of her. And then we compare Daisy Kuder-Schneider and Anna Ulvenson, and I think Daisy is gaining seconds on her because she was a minute, as I said, behind her when this leg started, and it's definitely closer than 1 minute now. We'll probably be able to see her out on the meadows. Anna Ulvenson losing crucial seconds there. But we have seen that Daisy maybe hasn't had the best body yet, but it doesn't. The most important is to do the right route choice, and I would say it's around 15 seconds up to Anna Ulvenson, so she gained 45 seconds on just that part. But, they are working hard there, and she will probably try to catch Anna, but Anna is a better wild track skier, a cross-country skier, using her size and strength. I think Daisy will have to do something better, continue to do better orienteering than Anna here to be able to beat her. And we saw also Judita making another route choice, and I think that's the worst option of those three. So she is losing seconds on these top two athletes in the moment. It will be really interesting to see when they come down to, I would say, the map change, but also the TV second, to see how Magdalena Olsson, Elin Schagerström, who had the long forking on the first loop, compared to Anna Ulvenson and Daisy here, to see how much they have been able to catch. But we have seen Magdalena Olsson doing a route choice, losing 30 seconds. We have seen Elin Schagerström doing a route choice, losing 30 seconds. And here we saw Anna Ulvenson making a route choice, losing 45 seconds. So all three of those top athletes have been doing mistakes. And that's why Daisy Kutter-Schneider has been able to catch up so much time on Anna. And I think that Anna is probably a bit stressed seeing Daisy is so close there, because that was not the standings out in the map change. You see Daisy turning around also, and you see Judita Traubaite still a far way from the control. So her route choice to this control, that's I would say shows her lack of ski orienteering on this. She is a technical ski orienteer. She's able to choose the right route choice when it's a bit more straight. This longer route choice doesn't take the best route choice and losing quite a lot of time. I think it also looks like Anna Ulvenson is going a bit faster than Daisy Kutter-Schneider. The trail is getting longer in between them. And we are waiting to see. You see there they are turning around. Anna Ulvenson going around. We will see if she goes all the way around or continuing on the small wide track, or doing the very wide track straight down to the south like Magdalena Olsson did, which we know was slower. We see what will happen. I'm also looking at the GPS, seeing that Amanda Ylifutka is doing the same mistake as Judita Traubaite. She will lose seconds, she will lose positions, and it looks like the Swedes, Magdalena Olsson, Elin Schagerström, they are together still, working together to gain seconds, to catch seconds. You see Anna Ulvenson doing the right route choice here, and going a bit more to the right and uphill. And you see here Magdalena Olsson, Elin Schagerström, they are going hard together. Magdalena Olsson in the lead between those two athletes at the moment. And I also see Anne-Sophie Krogh making the straight route choice to the D option. Not the best, I would say, out to that wide track. That was a micro route choice she lost some seconds on. And we will see if she does as Elin Schagerström did on the first loop, or if she does like Maria Hoskari did on the second loop. It means either she will gain time or she will lose time. And we see that I think Hanna Eriksson, who was in the group with Maria Hoskari there, she went out on the lake. Elian Deininger going into the E option there, and Maria Hoskari also going in for the E option. So Maria Hoskari, Elian Deininger, I think they will be able to pick up some positions here on the second loop. And Anne-Sophie Krogh going out on the lake. And Anna Ulvenson going good compared to Daisy Kutter-Schneider. See Judita Traubaite has taken the D option. We see Ella Turesson up in the right corner. She lost a lot of time on the D option on the first loop, and I think even though she does it great here on the second loop, she has lost every chance to be in a good position. Now we see Anne-Sophie Krogh. She did the same as Elin Sjögström out here. Now we see if she leaves the track and goes on a shortcut to come up on the wide track, or if she goes around on the south part of this little hill. It looks like she's leaving the narrow track and doing the correct route choice here. So that is great news, I would say, for Anne-Sophie Krogh, because that is how she should do it. And then, no, it's a good route choice. Maria Hoskari going. No, that is a big mistake from Maria Hoskari. She will lose seconds positions there, going down there, because she should go up to the left control there. And she will lose a lot of seconds compared to, for example, Elian Deininger she was with together earlier. And it looks like Magdalena Olsson, Elin Sjögström, they are picking the height, the elevation. They are going straight to this control. It was quite close between the other athletes going around the big hill on the right there. So I think they are two strong skiers. They will be able to work hard and go very well there. Anna Ulvesson, Daisy Kuder-Schneider, it's around 30 seconds between them. They are going to the D option, and they should soon turn right into the wide track and up to the control. Then we see Anne-Sophie Krogh and Maria Hoskari, but they are different. Anne-Sophie should go to the D option, where Nina Kärne and Sari Väänänen had just has been, and Maria Hoskari should go to the control up in the left, the E option. And Judita Traubaite doing this route choice to the D option like Anna Asa, and she will lose more time here. I think that Judita's podium position, it's getting away, but still it's a tough race. We see Magdalena Olsson and Elin Sjögström doing different route choices here, and I think that if Elin Sjögström doesn't find a shortcut there, maybe she goes in on a shortcut. Then she will gain seconds on Magdalena. Yeah, she does the shortcut there. Magdalena didn't have the think that it was able to do that. She comes with a lot of speed, but she has to stop quite a lot to go in there, and she loses 10-15 seconds on Elin Sjögström. And that is the psychological moment between these two athletes at the moment. Elin feeling that Magdalena has been pushing quite hard, probably because it looked like Magdalena was leading the group, and then making this and feeling yes, and Magdalena in the other way, trying perhaps to get rid of Elin and going as fast as she can, and then doing this small losing seconds. And as I said on the for Apo Vippola, then when he catched Niklas Ekström on the men's race, you can do that sometimes, but you can't do that so often. So it's quite tough to keep on pushing like that. Anna Ulvensson is coming down to the camera control, and I would say that the Swedish athletes, they lost around a minute after this control on the G forking. Anna taking the control there. Whoa! Yep, he made it, but that was quite close, coming with a lot of speed. And we know that, as I said, the G option is longer than the F option that the Swedish ladies will have. Around 30, 40, 50 seconds longer. So it will be interesting to see how far the Swedish ladies are behind her at that control. I think they still are a bit longer behind. So I think that Anna Ulvensson is still having the first place in her hand. Here we see Daisy Kuder-Schneider. She is around 40 seconds behind Anna Ulvensson. And we are waiting for the Swedish ladies. Elin Sjögström, Magdalena Olsson probably will be lacking some more seconds. And we see he's in here. Yeah, Anna Ulvensson taking also the same route choice as Elin Sjögström. And we lost Elin. Elin lost 20-30 seconds on this route choice. So still a good chance for the Swedish athletes and also for Daisy Kuder-Schneider to gain some seconds if she's able to take the right route choice there. And you see the Swedish athletes, they will not see Judita, but they will pass her when she's going up to the D option, and they are just going straight down to the TV control. We will see how Daisy does to the G control if she goes in. And I think she is, yep, she's probably, yeah, she's leaving the wide track for the narrow track, doing the same as Anna Ulvensson. Probably thinking it looks shorter. And there we have Elin Sjögström, and I think that is about 1.5 minutes. So Elin Sjögström, around 1.5 minutes, I would say, behind Anna Ulvensson. We have some difficulties with the live results, but we know she has around a minute shorter, so I don't think that Anna Ulvensson's lead will be so big when they come in to the arena change. Of course, they have to do everything correct when taking their controls, but the F option is a bit shorter. We get to follow Daisy Kuder-Schneider here in the narrow tracks, and you see the branches and the trees are really close to the narrow track. And here we can see Daisy, I would say her greatness. She's really like firm and controlled in her body, and just like follows, and she knows that her skis will show her the way. So we see here Elin Sjögström, Magdalena Olsson are coming into the F option, but Elin still having those seconds, and I think that Eliane Deininger is climbing in the result list, because she is somewhere in between Amanda Ylifutka and Sari Väänänen to the left there, and those should go up to the control, and Eliane should go straight down to the TV control, so she has definitely gained positions there. And we are looking at Elin Sjögström. We know that they did some different route choosing to this control that come, and we know that Anna Ulvensson has the long leg here if she will go the narrow track straight, or if she will go out to the left on the wide tracks. But in the forest, definitely the Swedes have passed her, and you see Daisy Kuder-Schneider going left there, and we know from the men's race that you lost seconds on doing that. So sadly for the Estonian girl, she is losing seconds, even though she's not aware of that at the moment. And we see at the TV control, it's a lot of, it's tough, it's big time differences. We have had 5 skiers there, those 5 as you see, and then Eliane Deininger is up on 6 positions at TV2 now, and she has the, not certain which option, yeah, she has the longer option now, but she has done a good race. And then we have the Finnish skiers, Maria Hoskari, Amanda Ylifutka, Sari Väänänen, Nina Kärne. So they are coming together from 7 to 10 position, as it looks like. And we see Elin Sjögström, Magdalena Olsson doing slightly different route choosing. I think Magdalena gained some seconds there, but Elin still in the lead. And then we have Anna Ulvensson. She sees the Swedish athletes, and I think that she was quite clearly ahead of them, and probably got to hear that. You see actually Magdalena Olsson gained more than quite a second. She's almost catched up on Elin there. So that was a worse route choice from Elin Sjögström. And they have a bit longer left to this control comparing to Anna Ulvensson. So I would still say Anna Ulvensson is in the lead. And we know that the last loop is straight from the TV control, but it's quite short. so they will not be able to catch so much time on Anna Ulvensen, I would say. And we see Magdalena Olsson, Elin Sjögström taking different route choices there. It looked like Elin perhaps got a stop or turned around. Magdalena Olsson making a shortcut here out on the lake. Maybe she's staying on the track. She stays on the track. Here we have Judita Traubaite in the moment at 5th position. And going here on the narrow track. And we should see if she comes up to the... Yes, she takes there. And she is doing the right route choice up to the wide track. On the same leg as Anna Ulvensen, but quite a bit behind her to this control. And we see Magdalena Olsson gaining some seconds on Elin Sjögström. Yeah, actually she did the shortcut, but she turned around. You see, she didn't do the shortcut. She was probably looking for a shortcut. Didn't find it. I have to do it. And she gained some seconds on Elin there. So it was, I would say, still not perfect from any of the Swedes to this control. And it's opening up for Daisy Kuter-Schneider for the 2nd position again. They have not the same this control, but they are, and I'm not certain which start of the race they have. You see they have B, A, C, so as we see on the behind their names, so they probably don't have the same start to the first TV control as we saw in the men's race. So there can be some difference. We, for example, know that A was 15 seconds slower than the C option. So we know Anna Ulvensen making a mistake here. Yeah, she went in. I'm not certain what. It's probably just the GPS that's a bit wrong. Yeah, she has taken the control. Daisy Kuder-Schneider coming in towards the control. We will see if they take the route choice. So they meet again. And you see, it's quite close. Anna keeping the right there. And the Swedes going still together. Magdalena Olsson, Elin Sjögström. And then Traubaite. She has the same control as Daisy and Anna. So she's taking another route choice more to the right there. And if we look at the girls behind, we have Elian Deininger, who was at the 6th position, and then we had the Finnish ladies, and I think it's a lot of Finnish. Maria Hoskari, Nina Kerne, with some seconds down to Sari Väärinen, and then we have Heta Virtanen, Hanna Eriksson. I think those are the main contenders fighting for 8th to 12th position. Daisy Kuder-Schneider taking another route choice than Anna Ulvensen to this control. We will see if she loses or gains time. But you see, Anna is still ahead of the Swedish athletes. And we will see how many seconds when they come to the last map change now. They have been out in, I would say, 53, 54 minutes, somewhere around that. Yeah, 53 and a half. She is there, taking the last control and probably getting some drink. Yeah, filling up with nutritious drinks. She has probably had some gel with her. You can tape that like the ski classics athletes often do on your legs and also on your map holder. It's quite good to have a gel and to take it wherever you want. Because going out around 65 minutes without anything, it's tough. So I think it's important to fill up with energy. So 30 seconds and no more. Here we have them, the Swedish athletes Magdalena Olsson and Elin Sjögström, 38 and 39 seconds. They are chasing the Norwegian and Daisy Kuder-Schneider just 5 seconds behind them. So this is the group fighting for the 2nd, 3rd and 4th place. And I don't think anyone will be able to catch any of these athletes. Still, I would say that the two athletes in the top here, Magdalena Olsson, Elin Sjögström, looking stronger than Daisy. But as I said, we're not certain which forking they have out on this last loop. Elin Sjögström started as number 8 and is up on number 3rd position now. So she has done a great race here in the beginning. And they are trying to put their map in the map holders. And you see working with their legs still when they are pushing down the map in the map holder. You see Daisy was quite fast with that, but it looks like she has to go a better route choice than the Swedish athletes. She wants to go up on the podium again for the first time this season. So these are the 4 athletes. And I think I look at the GPS, and it's Judita Traubaite who is the next coming, but she is quite far behind. We should wait and see. Yeah, you see Judita Traubaite there coming into the control. Anna Ulvensson having the A option, and it looks like the other Swedish and Daisy has the B option, all of them. And Elin Sjöström going in there. We should see Olsson. Olsson has the C option. I think that the C option was quite fast. We know that the A option is some seconds slower. It can be really interesting to see when they come to the TV control, because I think Anna Ulvensson will lose some seconds towards the at least Magdalena Olsson. But probably the B option runners. Now I'm not certain what Elin Sjöström, she wants to go more straight, but I think Daisy Kuder-Schneider taking the best route choice there. Judita Traubaite, yesterday's winner, here on the 5th position, 2.5 minutes behind the leading Anna Ulvensson, and it looks like she has almost as much time down to the chasers of her, so she's quite in her alone. It's like an individual race for her at the moment, so she just to take her map and read it carefully, and she will probably end up in the 5th position. But you see, there you are, number 1. No, her map has someone has touched it and it has gone out. There we see a map and she gets it. Oh, they were quite fast there. I'm not certain. Elin Sjöström doing quite a bad route choice, and you see Daisy Kuder-Schneider pausing her, gaining quite a lot of seconds. That was not the start of this last loop that Elin wanted. I think she has lost herself because she's going in the wrong direction now. Elin Sjöström, I would say the superior Swede. Her pace is formidable, but this is a big mistake out on the last loop. Lucky for her, in this bad context, I would say, she still has almost 2 minutes down to Judita Traubaite, but that was it's not 2 minutes now, but she still is ahead of Judita Traubaite if she understands where she is at the moment. And Daisy Kuder-Schneider going as she should to the B control. Actually, I think they should have gone where Judita went and going a bit to the right all the way. So probably the fight for the victory stands between Anna Ulvensson and Magdalena Olsson at the end. I think that Daisy Kudre is losing seconds, and I know that Elin Sjöström is losing seconds. We are still waiting for the next athlete to come to the last map change. So Judita Traubaite, as I said, having a lot of time. And you see Nina Kärne, Maria Hoskari, they are going there. I also see on the GPS Elian Deininger having the other forking. So it's probably those 3 fighting for this position. Magdalena Olsson looks like she's quite close to the TV control. And Anna Ulvensson making that slower route choice there. But she has very much straight into the control. I think they will see each other at the TV control. I'm not certain if they will be exactly the same, but I think they will see each other going into the longer control. So, as I said, the 2 giants this season, the Norwegian Anna Ulvensson, the Swedish Magdalena Olsson, who were impeccable, both almost, I would say, at the World Championship with 2 gold medals each, sharing the fame there. And now they are fighting for the win in this race. Magdalena, 2nd yesterday. Anna, 3rd yesterday. But today they are looking for 1 spot better. Or 2 for Anna. You see Elin Sjöström actually find her control, but she lost a lot of time there at Daisy Kuder-Schneider. And as I said, they are too far behind. This is a fight between 2 athletes. There we have Magdalena Olsson doing small mistake, almost going out on the wrong. And Anna Ulvensson 14 seconds behind, but she will gain 4 seconds on Magdalena Olsson there. So I would say 10 seconds between those athletes. Yeah, we see here Anna, she takes straight out on the right route choice, the right narrow track, and probably looking for, before her, hearing her. When it comes to the uphill, I think she will be able to see Magdalena Olsson trying to gain some seconds here. We are looking for the first athlete, who is a Swedish. She is in a blue and yellow dress, and this is the Norwegian blue. Actually, Magdalena did totally different route choice, so that's why she's not able to see her. Magdalena's trying probably to go around to the right. I think she will use the wide tracks and go maybe out on the lake and up to the black road and into the control. While Anna, actually almost the same. She didn't take the... You see now, I think she sees Magdalena Olsson out in the front. And actually, comparing to the men's race, almost no men did this route choice. They went straight. But those two top ladies, they are going to the right. And Anna Ulvensson lost some seconds on Magdalena Olsson there. But chasing hard, as we saw by skiing cameraman was chasing her. We should see if we have had... Yeah, we have had a lot of more athletes into the map change and fighting for the 6th position. As I said, Nina Kärne, Maria Hoskari, Elian Deininger 20 seconds behind them. Then we have Sari Värinän, Amanda Ylli-Futka, and then we have some seconds down to Hanna Eriksson and Heta Virtanen. Those are the top 12 at the moment. And you see Magdalena Olsson has the lead ahead of Anna Ulvensson. Daisy Kutter-Schneider ahead of Elin Schagerström. We will see which route choice they will take. As I said, mostly all of the men went a bit straight to this control. I think maybe they will go around and take it from the back. We see also Nina Kärne with the B option up in the top there, and looks like Judita Traubaite. She has gained seconds on Elin Schagerström and Daisy Kutter-Schneider, but she will not be able to catch them if they don't do any. So between the leader, Anna Ulvensson, now it looks like Anna Ulvensson has catched up on Magdalena Olsson. And they actually go into the straight option now. So no going around to the south to the lake. So and we see Daisy Kutter-Schneider doing a bit more straight route choice. She's going the narrow tracks, and Elin Schagerström doing a bit more wide track route choice, even though Anna Ulvensson and Magdalena Olsson did. So it will be interesting to see. It's 30 seconds between those athletes, and we are still waiting for Judita to come to the TV control. I think that Daisy Kutter-Schneider will be quite fast here. And we see, I think that Anna and Magdalena will keep together. Magdalena knows that's a shortcut there, but I don't think she will use it because she has to go to the left when she comes into the control anyway. So that's I think she will keep on the narrow track here. Actually, Judita Traubaite, she must have. We have had some GPS tracking. She is going probably like the men. Yeah, she has been there. She is 50 seconds behind Elin Schagerström, and she's doing a more like the men, going straight on the narrow track here. And we are waiting for her to see if she's able to catch some seconds. Elin Schagerström, as I said, 30 seconds behind Daisy. Here we have Elin pushing hard on the wide track to the right. She's fighting for the podium place, the 3rd place. And we know that Daisy Kutter-Schneider is ahead of her. She has had some mistakes. Out! She was almost doing a mistake there. So she's going out on the lake, I think. Yep, she's going out on the lake, and because she took the right there. Daisy Kutter-Schneider is going to the left of the lake. It will be interesting to see if Elin can use her skiing ability on this wide track. She goes in there on the wide track, so she will go out on the lake on this small lake, on these small narrow tracks. It will be interesting to see which one of those athletes who can gain seconds. And then we have the fight for the win today between Anna Ulvensson and Magdalena Olsson. We know they are together. This is for the top 3 position. Still no more racers in the TV control. So we are still waiting for the 6th positions. One who's fighting for the flowers. And we see here, and she's doing a shortcut here on the lake. Elin, she goes out on the lake. She has been on a lake doing shortcuts earlier. This is highly interesting to see if she goes out to the right and taking the control, or if she goes taking it from the back. or if she goes more from the left into the control. It looks like she's going good, and we see Anna Ulvensen and Magdalena Olsson has taken the 24th control. They have 2 controls left, and I think this will be a sprint. And I will bet my money on Anna Ulvensen today. I think she is a bit better sprinter than Magdalena Olsson. Still, Magdalena Olsson is in the lead, but we know Anna Ulvensen catch seconds there. And we saw Elin Sjöström leaving the lake, so she's going out to the black road. We see from which direction she takes the control. I still think Daisy Kuder-Schneider is ahead of her. Judita Traubaite will not be able to catch her. So Magdalena Olsson, Anna Ulvensen coming into the second last control. This is for the win. And I would say if Magdalena Olsson wins today, I think the World Cup is decided. If Anna Ulvensen wins today, the World Cup is not decided. So it's very important. Not just for the win today, but also for the total World Cup. This is the first and second position in the World Cup, of course, since they were extraordinary at the World Champs. Magdalena Olsson taking the control. I don't think they will do anything different. I think Anna Ulvensen wants to save this to a sprint. But we will see. Magdalena Olsson also really strong athletes. Looks like, I think we saw Anna there. Maybe they did a different route choice. Yeah, now Magdalena Olsson has done something wrong because Anna Ulvensen has left her behind. And Anna Ulvensen, she will be today's winner. Because it looked like she had a lot of seconds down to Magdalena Olsson there. She did something, Magdalena Olsson. And Anna Ulvensen pushing really hard up the last uphill and going into the last control, but reading the map carefully. But I think it's clear that you will win this today, Anna. She's already passed it. She has coming there, the last corner, taking the last control. And you're hearing the cheering from the athletes. We saw her, she did some mistakes, she had a bit longer forking, and then she just pushed, and ate up those 15 seconds to Magdalena Olsson. And in the end, there was no fight for it. Anna Ulvensen can take it slow on this sprint, taking the victory and keeping the World Cup total in living to tomorrow's middle distance. So Anna Ulvensen just ahead of Magdalena Olsson, first and second position. And we have had Daisy Kuder-Schneider and Elin Sjöström, and it's still 30 seconds between those athletes. So I think that they are probably fighting for the third medal that Daisy Kuder-Schneider will be taking.
And then she jumped over, so I'm a little bit worried I wasn't going to be a sprint finish, but I'm happy.
So it was that simple. She fell and you took the win. Congratulations to all the winners. And this time it was Anna Ulvensen first.
There we heard why there were a big time difference. Surprisingly, Magdalena Olsson fell in the last downhill, losing those seconds, and then the sprint was over. Anna Ulvensen could take it slow and enjoy the audience into her victory of today's World Cup in the pursuit distance. And as I said, Daisy Kuder-Schneider having 30 seconds at the last radio control. I think she is on her way. She was around 2 minutes behind. It looks like she's coming here. The Estonian coming up on the podium for the first time this season. I think she has waited and she has worked hard for this to happen. So she went out as number 5. And she has picked up 2 positions out there. For Anna Ulvensen and Magdalena Olsson, there was nothing to do. They were in without comparison this day. But Daisy Kuder-Schneider taking the last corner here into the last control and the 3rd position. I think she will be really happy with this solid race and showing that she's climbing each race this season. So she will be tough tomorrow in the middle distance. I think it will suit Daisy even better going alone in the forest because she's so technical. And there we see Elin Sjöström behind her coming into the 4th position. Daisy Kuder-Schneider 2:18 between after Anna Ulvensen. And then we have at the 4th position the Swedish Elin Sjöström. She had the pace, she had the strength, but did quite a crucial mistake out on the last loop.
Ma arvan, tegin hea sõidu ja päris raske oli tegelikult nii olud ja enesetunne. Aga keskendusin sellele, et nagu orienteerumise poolelt oma sõitu teha ja see hooaeg nagu ei ole minu jaoks väga kerge olnud. Aga juba viimasel riigil ma pidin ennast ka väga nagu keskendumisele tagasi tooma, sest kõik see kaasaelamine ja siin ja nagu tähendab palju ja tahtsin väga nagu hästi lõpu teha. Ja tegelikult viimane ring läks ka üks teevalik nagu ebaõnnestus natukene. Aga üldjuhul ma olen väga õnnelik, aitäh kõigile, kes kaasa elasid ja korraldamise eest.
Teeme aplausi! Taisi!
Even though I don't understand Estonian, you could see it from her feelings. She was feeling everything on the outside, clearly touched by this fight up to the third position. And I know that Daisy, for a fact, she loves to compete on home soil. And also, I think, as we said, it was the Estonian Independence Day. I also think she is really happy for that. And 3 years ago, when the World Champs was held in Estonia, not in Hanja, then she took her first gold medal. So that she showed again she likes to compete here in Estonia. Judita Traubaite into the 5th position. She started as number 1. She has had some difficulties with the route choices, mainly I would say. And she comes into the 5th position, 4:10 behind Anna Ulvensson. But I still think that Judita is quite pleased, if you would say that she would have been 1st and 5th on the 2 races here. I think she would have taken that and said, I think that's okay. Here we see Elian Deininger fighting for the 6th position, just ahead of Nina Kärne and Maria Hoskari. And Amanda Ylifutka going, I'm not certain, she goes around there. We see Sari Verinen coming. Are they afraid of the hill? I think Ella Turesson is doing a mistake there. And we should see if Anne-Sophie Krog can catch them up. Looks like she's definitely... yeah, you see Ella Turesson, she's turning around. Going... I'm not certain what she is doing. I think they are... no, that's... Oh, ho, ho. So we focus on the 6th position. Elian Deininger looking like she's just ahead of Nina Kärner and Maria Hoskari coming to this control. And we should see what's happening here. Yeah, here we see actually, it looks like Nina Kärner has catched passed Maria Hoskari, Elian Deininger, but where are they going? Elian Deininger looking on the map, losing seconds. I think they are not doing the best route choice. They have been going up and down, but they are coming up here. Yeah, now they are on the right track. And Nina Kärne, Maria Hoskari, Elian Deininger for the 6th position. Nina Kärne, the junior, looking like she will be able to put some flowers in her pockets home. And I think that this will be highly interesting to see. No, it's Nina Kärne. She's not a junior. That was Amanda Ylifutka and she got past. Maria Hoskari looking like she's taking the sprint. Nina Kärne is tired. Elian Deininger probably passing Nina Kärne also. We see Maria Hoskari 6th position. Elian Deininger 7th. And then we have Nina Kärne on the 8th position. So there we have it. And they are 6:40 behind. Maria Hoskari, Elian Deininger, Nina Kärne. I would say, as I said before, Elian Deininger went out as number 17, in as number 7. She likes this pursuit. Nina Kärne was tired in the end. I think that Ella Turesson has been able to catch the last control and is on her way in, but she lost a lot of positions there. So we will see. I think we have Amanda Ylifutka, Sari Verinen coming to this sprint quite soon. And you see here Magdalena Olsson falling in this downhill. You should see when she does that. Yeah, there was the stop. And then the chance against Anna Ulvensson was away. And yeah, she lost crucial seconds, no chance to gain those on Anna. And here we have Amanda Ylifutka and Sari Väänänen. So the Finnish ladies coming up here, 9th and 10th position. They have ended the race well. Amanda went out as number 7, had some difficulties out there, and in there 750, and Sari Väänänen 753 behind. We are waiting for Anne-Sophie Krogh. He went out as number 12, I think. The Norwegian. So it's happened a lot of things out there, and it's really tricky on these dense track network. And it looked like there were some athletes having quite big issues in the end. I think that Anne-Sophie Krogh is on the way. Yep. And then we have Ella Turesson, who we saw. She was quite far behind before Anne-Sophie Krogh earlier, and that was not the best ending for her. She also had quite big difficulties in the beginning, so she will probably not be so pleased with her race today. We will see. She is right before Heta Virtanen, Lotteline Ekström coming into the 25th control also. Then we are talking positions 11, 12, 13, 14th. Somewhere around that positions. So the Norwegian is coming first, Anne-Sophie Krogh, Ella Turesson, and then we have Heta Virtanen, who has picked up some positions today. But they are quite long behind. Yeah, here we get to see Anne-Sophie Krogh, Ella Turesson fighting to catch her, but it's just too short in the end. Actually, we saw Åsne Hovingen. We didn't see her on the GPS. She has picked up a lot of positions. So Åsne Hovingen, you saw her. She has catched up a lot of positions on Ella Turesson. And then we say Heta Virtanen in on the 14th position. So Åsne Hovingen doing a good race, beating the Swedish lady just by a second. So Anne-Sophie Krogh was already in the finish. And then we see, it looks like Vilma Pesu. I think Vilma Pesu and Lotteline Ekström is ahead of Hanna Eriksson to this sprint. And then it should be probably the 15th, 16th and 17th position for these athletes. So they have had their difficulties out there. We saw Hanna Eriksson was quite much higher, has had big difficulties. Lotteline Ekström taking the sprint ahead of Vilma Pesu, two young athletes, 15th and 16th there. And then we take in the Swedish athletes. Lotteline actually went out as number 9, so she has not probably had the best day out there. Hanna Eriksson 17th, and then we have two Norwegian. I think it's Synne Strand and Ingeborg Roll Mosland. It's Ingeborg that has been the fastest today, and probably looks like she's taking Synne Strand. Synne Strand goes out trying to take her in the end. I'm not certain. I think Synne Strand was ahead of Ingeborg Roll Mosland in the end. That's 18th and 19th position. So Synne Strand, I talked about her earlier. She did a really good pursuit at the World Championship. Not as good today, but still she picked up one position. These athletes are 11 minutes behind, so they have been out in 78 minutes. So it's quite a tough race, and tomorrow are the middle distance awaiting, so now it's important to try and just start filling up. Here we have more of the athletes. It looks like Evine Westli Andersen came there, and I think Idun Strand. Then there was Florina Müller at 22nd, and Mads Lien. Birgit Dorothea Kleppa Mads Lien at 23rd position, and Anna Asa 24th position. Anna has lost 11 positions today. Not the race she would have aimed for. But as I said, Anna Ulvensson, the Norwegian, took today's win just ahead of Magdalena Olsson, and on the 3rd position, Daisy Kudre Schneider. We get to see a playback here from the top 5 athletes racers, and here we see they are having their different forkings. Magdalena Olsson catching up on Anna Ulvenson there. Elin Schagerström making this route choice out on their lake, making a shortcut and gaining seconds on Magdalena Olsson and Anna Ulvenson. Then we see here to this control, Magdalena Olsson making a slower route choice than Elin Schagerström and losing seconds. We also saw Judita Trabaite having some difficulties. Anna Ulvenson with a clear lead here, and Elin Schagerström and Magdalena Olsson losing some seconds on their longer forking. Anna Ulvenson taking this control with a slightly different route choice, losing some seconds to Judita Trabaite and Daisy Kudre-Schneider. Elin Schagerström ahead of Magdalena Olsson, working together there. And we see Anna Ulvenson out on the second loop. Judita Trabaite going into the narrow track system, losing seconds directly there on Daisy Kudre-Schneider. And we see here Anna Ulvenson making a mistake, losing 45 seconds to Daisy Kudre-Schneider. Now it's opened up again. So we were thinking perhaps the Swedish ladies who looked like they were a bit behind could gain some seconds. Anna Ulvenson going really hard here, just pushing and leaving Daisy some seconds behind. Magdalena Olsson, Elin Schagerström having the shorter forking now. And then we see Anna Ulvenson, Daisy Kudre-Schneider taking this slightly slower route choice to the G control. And then the Swedish are ahead of Anna. Then they had some small difficulties, both Magdalena and Elin there. And Anna the shorter forking into the, and then they were together with Daisy Kudre-Schneider, and we saw Elin Schagerström making a big mistake directly out to the B control. Daisy Kudre-Schneider also having some difficulties, but those were the chances for the first and second position. Magdalena Olsson, Anna Ulvenson getting together. Anna Ulvenson eating her up on the wide track, and then we got to see the stop from Magdalena Olsson when she fell into the last control. And Daisy Kudre-Schneider, she never got picked up by Elin Schagerström in the fight for the third position. Interesting to see, sad for Magdalena Olsson with that ending. We have taken Johanka Sinkova, Andrea Diaksova, Doris Kudre, and Antonia Grigorova into the finish. So that was Antonia Grigorova who came in there. She has a 28th position. So I think she has had actually, Andrea Diaksova has had a bad race. She went out as number 11 and coming in as number 25. Tough race today, and it has really showed that it needed its man or its woman to take over the forest out here, because that was really tough race. And as you see, these athletes, these great athletes, they are far, far behind the best of the best today. So I think just if you would have been able to find the best route choices, you would have picked up a lot of positions. And here we have number 133, the Estonian. I think it is. Can be Liis-Mari Kaasu. Yes, it is coming in here to the finish. A young athlete, still a junior, getting the possibility to fight against the seniors. And here we see the final standing. Anna Ulvenson 8 seconds ahead of Magdalena Olsson. Those two were in their own league today. Third position, Daisy Kudre-Schneider. Here at the second, 11 to 20, we see a lot of Norwegian, and Swedish and Finnish flags. And then we have had these athletes into the finish. And as I said, Andrea Diaksova lost a lot of time. And we have some, sadly, Katie and Kaidi Kasiko, two Estonian girls that are really strong skiers. They were at the Junior 23 World Championship in cross-country skiing earlier. Not able to start today. We see Epp Polberg here. I think she's chasing. Can it be Lea Widmer? I'm not really certain. Or it can be Antonia Ehrhardt. Some of those. I think it looked like Antonia Ehrhardt, but I think it looked like a Swiss dress, so I'm not certain. That's Lea Widmer. So Lea Widmer is ahead of Epp Polberg, coming here to the finish. And she has stayed at her position almost. Yeah, you see here, Antonia Ehrhardt ahead of Lea Widmer, and then Epp Polberg 29th, 30 and 31st position here. So Antonia from Austria coming to the finish.
Congratulations for
And Lea Widmer ended there, and they were around 17 and a half minutes behind the first athlete. So now we don't have so much athletes still out in the forest. And this, as I said, will be highly interesting. The results from today will be highly interesting for the total World Cup today, tomorrow, when it's the last race of this international season 2024 in ski orienteering. And we know that Anna Ulvensson is catching some points on Magdalena Olsson today. So it will be open. Then she has 200 and she has 1650. I would still say Magdalena Olsson is in a very good position to take the overall cup, but at least open. And Elin Schagerström, I will strengthening her positions, but Daisy Kuder-Schneider is trying to catch her. So those are the top 4 athletes today, are also the top 4 in the World Cup. And on the men's race, I would say that here we get to see Niklas Ekström winning men's race today, ahead of Apo Vippola and Nicola Müller, and then Jörgen Backlid. And we have Olle Ilmajama, the youngster. We also see Pyri Risanen. So some junior world championship guys there at 11th and 14th position. Ole Gunnar Kleppa Madsli, and also junior beating routine Vegard Guldbrandsen. And here we have some more racers. We have Marek Sterba, also junior, at the 31st position. Timo Kudre, Chris Marcus Krav, the home guys who won the Junior World Championship relay. They hadn't the best day today. And then we have the Japanese. Sadly, Jonathan Ståhl had some difficulties. We didn't get to see it. I just saw that something happened with him. We hope he is okay, and it was just something with his equipment. Here, I think it is Agnieszka Lavakova who's coming in to the 32nd position. As I said, the men's World Cup, of course, Jörgen Backlid will be quite tough to catch. But Niklas Ekström, if he does a good race tomorrow and wins again, it's not certain. But Jörgen Backlid, of course, in a very good position. And then Nicola Müller strengthening his 3rd position. Apo Vippola, I would say, gaining some positions and probably getting up a pinhole. So I would say also in the men's race, the best athletes in the world have been the best also here. Even though it's quite much difference from the World Championship in Ramsau in the type of ski orienteering, but also in the type of forest, in the type of terrain, in the type of weather. Still, I learned that when I was going. In the beginning, I was thinking, but it's always the best athletes. They find their way into the top. So that was impressive by those guys. And just as in the women's race, the time was quite much different. We also take Mikaela Sarbova into the finish, 33rd position. And she has catched some positions there. She went out as 141. So she is here 21 minutes behind the best athlete. And we get to see the men's race also in a replay. It was quite tight since they had some longer minutes than expected. We see the top 4 guys. Apo Vippola having a great start. Niklas Ekström, Jörgen Backlid, Nicola Müller also stable. And they doing the same route choices here. And we see here that Apo turned around and gained some more seconds to Niklas and Nicola. And then there was the longer route choosing. And Jörgen Backlid, we know he was with Jonathan Ståhl here, did some small micro route choice slower there. And Apo Vippola, this was, I would say, plus minus 0. And then taking this route choice, Niklas Ekström, Nicola Miller going behind him. Jürgen Buckley doing slightly slower route choice out to this G option, but then taking the control as he should. So that was the first loop, and we saw Niklas Ekström and Nicola Miller keeping together here. Some small differences, but they are going. And Apo Vippola getting almost catched up by Jürgen Buckley there. And then working together, Niklas and Nicola in the beginning, in the top. Jürgen Buckley taking another route choice here to the E control. So we know here Apo Vippola was some seconds behind, but he just pushed and drew himself into the other backs of Niklas and Nicola. But then he did a crucial mistake here, going to the right and losing much time there. Also, though, that Niklas Ekström making the correct there with Nicola Miller, and then it was 3 in the top. Jürgen Buckley going to the F option there, and Niklas Ekström, Nicola Miller going out there. And into the last loop, they didn't have the same start, so we know that Nicola Miller lost some seconds there, that he had the longer forking. Niklas Ekström, Jürgen Buckley having the same. I think Jürgen lost seconds there going around, and Apo Vippola at the second position there in the group, but Niklas Ekström just going alone to the finish as the victory. And then we had the sprint between Apo. You saw Apo did a small route choice there, and he gained seconds there. He was ahead of Nicola Müller and Jürgen Buckley. So even though they have I think that was impressive by the athletes, even though knowing that it's just one control left, and you saw Apo winning the sprint, so he was strong, but still thinking this is the fastest and making his own route choice to the second last control. So that's impressive, and he got paid for it well also with taking the sprint before Nicola Müller and Jürgen Buckley. And as I said, that can also be something for next year or in 2 years when you should go a sprint against Jürgen Buckley again. Apo Vippola and Nicola Müller, they know he's not unbeatable like he was in Ramsau. You're able to do that. So I think that's something they will definitely carry with them. Last year in European Championship, it was I would say the other way around. Then Jürgen Buckley won the sprint against Apo Vippola, so he got a bit of a revenge today. So that was highly interesting. We have also had into the finish Emilia Tamusevicet from Lithuania at the same time as Elisa Madsena. I'm not certain they are exactly the same. We are of course waiting for the flower ceremony or the award ceremony. See the ladies probably going up to the award ceremony there. And we have Raul Kudre and Leo Hanja, who will help with the prize giving ceremony today. We see quite a lot of different, and that's really fun to see that the Lithuanian, the Estonian, it's not just the Scandinavian countries in another cross country, in another winter sport. At 6th position, Maria Hoskari, Finland. She was not really close to the athletes above. She was with Elin in the beginning, losing some seconds. Judita Trabaite, 5th position. She lost quite a lot of time, but still, as I said, I think that's a smile on her. Elin Schagerström fighting for the top 3 places, having some difficulties to the first control in the last loop. That was her biggest mistake. Daisy Kudre-Schneider, Estonian, number 3, her position. The first time up on the podium this season. The last year's giant. She has been winning the World Championship. She has been winning the entire European Champs. But today she got up here. But towards the 2 best, there was no chance. More than 2 minutes to Magdalena Olsson, the Swedish lady, Swedish silver lady today. And Anna Ulvensson, the Norwegian. She showed impeccable strength going out on the wide track in the end. And how she picked up Magdalena Olsson there. She saw her back. We saw her with the skiing cameraman, and she just picked her up. Now it's time for the Norwegian national anthem. I think she gave it her all, Anna Ulvensson, in the singing, just as in the forest, and it worked well for her, both those parts. These are the top three ladies, and I would say the last year's giants, Daisy Kudre-Schneider coming up on the podium, Magdalena Olsson and Anna Ulvensson, they have not, yesterday they gave someone else a chance to win, but otherwise this season has been theirs. So they have been highly impressive, and Magdalena Olsson in the lead for the total World Cup still. And here we see someone is lapping, and I think Anna Ulvensson, no one will be able to catch them. And then we have Daisy Kudre-Schneider and Elin Schagerström fighting for the third position in the World Cup overall. And we also see to the left there, we have the men, the top six men, the prize giving ceremony. And we see here a lot of blue and white Finland. But also here, another country that's not maybe famous for its skiing ability. Stanimir Belamache for the Bulgarian. And the Swiss are here. So I think it's really fun to see a lot of different athletes, even though I'm a Swedish. And the best Swedish was 8th position. It's good for the sports. Here we have Evert Toivonen. He was 6th yesterday. He was 6th this day. And last year I think he was top 6, 7 out of 9 World Cup races. He is a stable athlete, but hasn't had the really top. Stanimir Belamache, Bulgaria at the 5th position. He lost some time in the beginning and was never close to the top 4 racers. Jörgen Backlid, the king of Ramsau. You can't say it too much, but he's not the king of Hanya, because that's someone else. Nicola Miller, Switzerland. 53 seconds. He was just ahead of Jörgen Backlid in the sprint, but lost the sprint to the Finnish athlete that stands here. Apo Vippola, he hadn't had the world championship he wanted, but he has started better here. 3rd yesterday, 2nd today. And I would say there's only one guy who has been better. And if Jörgen was the king of Ramsau, the king of Hanya is from Finland. And it is Niklas Ekström. Yeah, up with the finger, number 1, Niklas Ekström. Highly impressive race today. As I said, having the longer forking in the beginning, getting catched by the other guys, but then out on the last loop, he had the shorter forking and just left them behind. a big applause for the best men. And it's the same time for this broadcast for tomorrow's middle distance, the last race of this year's World Cup for the ski orienteers. And we will start then, as I said, 9:20 with the time change +1. So it's almost the same time tomorrow. And I hope that many of you will follow the races then also to see which are the best athletes just for the day, for the World Cup, and also for the total World Cup. So we hope you have had a really good day following this ski orienteering event. And it was highly interesting and a lot of things happened. So I think it will be a similar day tomorrow. Me, Linus Rapp, is thanking for myself today, and then you will hear me tomorrow, and another fine day for ski orienteering.